Oh, I'm absolutely betting live. This is the beauty of betting, and this is the beauty of betting in MMA. We're gonna go and take Carl Williams. Right now, the live odds are at -135. Jump on that right now. Take out a second mortgage, whatever you got to do, because this fight is all him right now, and I don't see the third round being any different unless a prayer from Amos. I don't see it happening. Carl Williams is gonna win this fight. Go bet him if you can.
Thank you, Ian Parker. A little nuance of the live betting available to you. Carl Williams maintains his pressure on top. No answer so far from Miles Amos.
And Sean, at this point, you know, you got to wonder for Amos and Williams, obviously the contract's going to be in the back of their mind. How does this affect the way that they fight from here on out? Does Williams try to be more impressive here as he tries to potentially go for a choke here? And for Amos, he's got to do something drastic here. I know he said he wanted that $1 million. Well, it's not going very well for him right now.
Well, look, every fighter wants a finish in a fight, right? Carl Williams right now wants to find a way to finish Miles Amos. Miles Amos has quite a few more steps between himself and a finish of Carl Williams at this particular moment, but the contract is going to be awarded at the end of the night for the most impressive performance. Does that mean a dominant, one-sided affair like this one can win you that contract? Maybe. Will it get you an invitation to the 205-pound regular season? Who knows? That's going to be up to the league, to the fans, and to our celebrity panelists here on the Challenger Series. Nice work here by Williams to step through half guard. Ken, I haven't told you this yet, but in addition to a contract being up for grabs tonight, a $5,000 bonus is going to be awarded to one fighter from Columbia Care for the move of the night. Doesn't have to be the finish of the night, doesn't have to be the submission or knockout of the night, has to be the move of the night. The most dynamic and interesting mixed martial arts technique is going to get a $5,000 reward from Columbia Care. So a lot at stake for these prospects tonight.
I love it. Even more motivation for these guys to be exciting and look for that big move here. And now Amos looking for an arm lock. Almost had the angle on. He's still attacking it. Now Williams is much safer here.
The angle's still there, but the arm is out, and now Williams steps over to side control again, tries to go back to work with his left hand. To Amos's credit, he's been stuck on his back. He hasn't worn a ton of damage. He's done a good job of kind of guarding himself, keeping the punches out of that beard.
Yeah, Williams has done a good job positionally. He's landed some good ground and pound. Trying to get that forearm in the neck, looking for a choke there.
Round two comes to a close here. Looks a lot like round number one. Carl Williams on top. Carl with a K. Looks to be 5 minutes away from a victory here in his PFL Challenger Series debut.
And here's Williams with that takedown up against the cage. Beautiful double leg right into side control, forcing Amos into a very bad position. Here's a nice knee to the midsection by Williams. And then story of the fight here really are those takedowns up against the cage. Beautiful takedown again.
Look inside the corner here of Carl Williams. There's a familiar face to some big-time MMA fans. He does train at American Top Team Lima. And that right there is a Lima. One more 5-minute round. You're down 2 rounds to none if you're Miles Amos. How do you pull this one out, Kenny Florian?
Well, he's got to go for it now. I mean, this is where you try to pull out those stops with flying knees, big uppercuts, something to stop those takedowns from Williams, who's changing levels and taking him down up against the cage.
Williams once again cautious in the early exchange here, doesn't want to get anything wild to hit him. Winging punches from Amos, and then he tries to enter and finds himself in this clinch again. It has not been successful for the first 2 rounds. Carl Williams has actually overpowered the former FAU football player.
Yeah, I think that's been the difference. Williams is putting it together better than Amos. He's utilizing his wrestling a little bit better as well, but he's getting the respect from with those hands, with those combinations. positionally has been superior to Amos throughout this fight.
Feints on the outside from Amos. Big winging right hand. Too slow to hit Carl Williams.
Yeah, both guys have been kind of going to their default, which is their wrestling. Just it's Amos who has been failing in that regard. Williams has been more successful. There's a nice level change.
Nice defense this time around for Miles Amos, but he's hanging heavy on the head. And Williams once again just uses the body lock to ride Miles Amos down to the mat, straight into the full mount here, Kenny.
Yeah, rarely do you see those guillotine attempts find success when you're up against the cage like that. Williams doing a good job so far. He's in mount. This is a bad position. This is where he can really ramp it up and get that ground and pound going from this mount position. Oh, here he goes. This is what he needs, Sean, to impress the celebrity panelists, the judges. He knows it's on the line. A finish would look a heck of a lot better. Oh,
wow. Amos is able to pull out the Hail Mary there. Nice reaction from Williams to ride and stay on top.
He's done. Wow. Carl Williams, listen, man, I mean, what he does with the head control is everything.
Yeah.
Every time they lock up, he controls his head, gets up under him, and that's why Amos has been on the bottom the entire fight, almost. It's really impressive. It's really impressive what Carl Williams is doing.
Oh, man, Kenny Florian, we just saw Miles Amos climb back underneath. He had the underhook, and he scooted himself to his own left, which put him underneath Carl Williams. He's 7 fights deep in his professional career. Carl Williams only half that experience, but looks like the more seasoned man here.
Yeah, that's right. It's Williams who has shown better composure, better positioning, and just putting it together better overall here. And he started to pour it on from the mount position, lost position, but let's see if he goes right back to work and gets aggressive again as we get into the final 2 minutes of the fight.
More success with the right hands here from the top position for Carl Williams. The last two have landed, one to the head, the other to the ribs. There's a hammer fist from Williams.
Yeah, he's starting to posture up where you can get better space and more leverage on those punches. Now into side control again.
Williams steps off as Amos goes out the back door. 90 seconds remain here in this light heavyweight bout.
Williams took a little breather, walked forward, threw a 1-2, but it was Amos that threw a nice jab.
Amos tests the kick there. Running out of time to make something happen, and there comes another right hand and a shot attempt, and this time Carl Williams just matadors him and climbs onto his back.
Yeah, Amos telegraphed a little bit, and Williams saw it coming. Level change now on top again.
Inside of 1 minute remaining here in this last round, Miles Amos once again shoulders glued to the mat. Carl Williams grinding out what looks to be a victory here in his PFL debut. Hammer fist partially blocked. The next one lands. Amos trying to get an angle and grab a desperation armbar. Closes the guard again.
Yeah, you like to see that. Amos isn't quite out of this yet. He's still trying to win. Still trying to go for that arm lock. Williams postures up and he's out.
Nice hammer fist there from the top for Williams, and another big one as he dives back in. Another explosive attack here from Williams. He's looking for a finish late. Amos doing his best just to stave off the damage. Carl Williams finishes the fight on top and inside control. Kenny Florian, it looks pretty cut and dry from where I'm sitting. Carl Williams, impressive. I say impressive. You seem to be at least slightly impressed. We'll see what our celebrity panelists think about the performance of Carl Williams.
Listen, guys, I'm just saying, in any sport, low man wins. The way Carl Williams got up under him when they engaged each other physically, he dominated the entire match. I mean, he's impressive.
definitely, you look at Carl, he dominated the top position. He had great transitions. It's a lot of static strength to keep another grown man down on the mat that's trying to get away. So he maintained control and got damage when he could.
Listen, you got to give it up for both these guys. And Carl the Truth Williams looked amazing. But I have to say that Miles has maybe miles to go with the striking. It looked a little like a little Tyron Woodley overhand right, but it was in slow motion, which was interesting.
He was missing a couple setups.
Yeah.
A grueling performance from both Carl Williams and Miles Amos. We'll get an official result when we come back on Fubo TV.
Where's the timpanist?
He's getting a haircut.
He's getting a haircut.
Not just any haircut.
Supercuts. They get me in and out in no time when I check in on the app.
Make sure you watch the PFL Challenger Series, plus over 100 channels of live sports and TV without cable with Fubo TV. Visit FuboTV.com/PFL. We'll take a look at our fight stats brought to you by the U.S. Air Force Reserve. Here's our damage meter presented by CarParts.com. Miles Amos wore 57 strikes to that bearded head. And our Cagenomics post-fight stats from the Air Force Reserve. All in favor of Carl Williams, but they missed a few takedowns there, Kenny Florian. Carl Williams had more than 0 in this fight.
He sure did. I think that was really the story of this fight.
Kenny Florian, take us through some of these replays.
Well, we talked about how we had two wrestlers going at it. Sometimes the wrestling cancels each other out and they stand up the whole time. That did not happen. It was Williams who felt that weakness, saw the vulnerability, was able to get those takedowns, had superior position, was able to control Amos, gave Amos a difficult time down there, just couldn't find an answer, was able to get back to his feet at times, but it was Williams who was able to see a lot of those attacks coming. There he is, getting to the back from that turtle position, getting back on top of Amos, landed some good grounded pound, some nice hammer fists there from that standing position. Big shots there from the top from Williams. And it was kind of the same thing over and over, round after round. Sean, back to you.
After 3 rounds, the judges scored this bout 30-27, 30-27, and 30-26. For your winner by unanimous decision, Carl, with a K, Williams. Carl Williams victorious in our very first ever PFL Challenger Series bout. Here, let's turn around. Let's talk to these celebrity panelists here. First of all, we knew this was going to be a battle between two great athletes, two very strong individuals. He got his hands on you, but it was you who were able to secure the takedowns. Great leverage the whole fight, great control the whole fight. Was that the game plan coming in?
No, we was actually trying to work on striking and staying away from the grappling, but like I think I said in the interviews, I'm going to take it where you wanted to go. So he wanted to wrestle, we wrestled.
Were you surprised that he would loop that right hand and then come in and engage with you?
No, we saw, I got coaches, so they saw it. They was like, look out for it, keep your hand up, and just watch out. Yes, sir.
Well, as you know, here on Challenger Series, it's not just about winning the fight. It's about putting together an impressive performance. We saw you going for the finish. We saw you climb to the mount, trying to get leverage on those strikes. In the end, you weren't able to get a finish, but is a performance this dominant, you think, enough to secure yourself a PFL contract at the end of the night?
It should be. Most people are going to end up going to grappling. I'm still waiting to show you guys my striking. So just keep booking me. I'm ready to fight again. Keep booking me, and we're going to keep showing what all we can do.
All right, I want to see what the celebrity panel has to say about this performance. We got Ray Lewis, Super Bowl champion and MVP. We've got Tyron Woodley, former UFC welterweight champion. Jeremy Piven is joining us remotely from LA. He knows all about entertainment. Jules, what do our celebrities have to say about this one?
Well, Sean, if you didn't hear before, the word that was commonly used was dominant about Carl with the K. Williams. And we saw that Ray Lewis was saying wow a lot. What were you saying wow about?
Because it's one thing, I talked about this earlier, right? People striking and things. But when you can dominate a man physically, the way Carl did in that ring, his head work. Carl, I'm just giving you kudos. Because what you did with your head to always get underneath him and lift him up and take him to the ground, listen, man, it's priceless, dominant match. I mean, you were really successful. Yep.
All right, Tyron, what did you think about Carl's performance tonight?
You know, I thought Carl had all the building blocks. You think in mixed martial arts, you separate him in striking, wrestling, grappling. He had all those blocks. He put the striking together, went to the takedowns, went to the ground and pound control position, and his body just kind of knew where he was at the right time. I think with more repetition, it's going to be seamless. It's going to be a takedown immediately to posture up ground and pound, and I think he's just going to keep getting better.
Okay, Jeremy Piven, we saw you taking notes during this match. What do you have for Carl?
Well, Carl with a K, listen, it's scary because you're always smiling and you seem like a really nice guy, and then you had about 3 takedowns in the first round. And the fact that you're saying that the best part of your game is striking is scary to me. Yeah. So he looks like a pretty complete fighter.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, back to you.
All right, thank you. So to sum that up, Jeremy Piven is scared of you, and both Tyron Woodley and Ray Lewis are impressed by this performance. I know you want to say something back to guys like this that you admire.
Oh, Ray, I played defense, so you know you got to get on them offensive linemen, jack them up a little bit, so that's why that came from. So that's why, yes, sir.
I knew it. I knew it. Low man wins.
Most importantly, Carl Williams, victorious in your PFL debut. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. From the champ. Thank you.
That's Carl with a K. Williams, our lone representative on the card tonight from the U.S. Virgin Islands.
USVI, baby.
And don't forget, pay attention, fans, because at the end of tonight, you will have a say in who earns a life-changing PFL contract. Participate in the Bud Light fan vote. Cast your vote on Fubo TV's Fan View or on Twitter at PFL MMA. More light heavyweight action next. That man right there, Travis Bam Bam Davis, looking to make this fight ugly. His opponent came all the way from Brazil for this opportunity. Brucey Soto versus Travis Davis. Brazil versus USA next.
Drivers who fix their own cars just got a smarter tool to work with.
Check out our very own Julie Stewart-Binks as she interviews today's top newsmakers in the world of sports on Drinks with Binks every week on Fubo Sports Network and wherever you get your podcasts. You know what? I'm actually on this week's Drinks with Binks. Julie.
We planned it that way so that you could promote yourself and me here on Fubo TV. Now, we know that for this particular event, the Challenger Series, that the celebrity panel plays a huge role in whether or not these fighters move on to be able to get a PFL contract. They have to secure one of two votes, celebrity panel and then the fans. So let's take a look at what happened in the last fight, which was Miles Amos taking on Carl Williams. And Carl Williams was dominant. He was dominant throughout the fight. He controlled the grappling exchanges. He took him down at will. He was honestly just dominant is the word that was used by our celebrity panel from start until finish. They were extremely impressed with his performance tonight. And even though he had a bit of a calm, fun-loving demeanor, as Jeremy Piven noticed, he does have the mindset and ability of a champion and of an athlete that, of course, you're related to Ray Lewis with on their football backgrounds. A little bit different, though, of course. So we know, though, that we have many more fighters still to come here on the PFL Challenger Series, and it is so much about the personality, Sean, not just the fighting.
Well, I hope all of these guys get an opportunity to show a little bit of flavor as they climb into the cage. We've got Carl Williams, a victor, the live betting odds. That was the recommendation from Ian Parker, by the way. Way about halfway through the second round. Switch that to a live bet. Brucey Soto coming up next against Travis Davis. He's a favorite at -175. So is Taylor Johnson over Alexander Popek. And how about Josh Silveira in our feature bout at the end of tonight? A -1,500 favorite. Let's send it over to Ian Parker to see if he has changed his recommendations for the evening.
Well, look, if you were high on Brucey Soto and you haven't got a bet in yet, he went from -200 to -180. Now he's down to -160. So money is coming in on Travis Davis late. I still like Brucey Soto here. So look, again, if you didn't want to spend the money at -200 or at -180, you're in luck. -160, let's go.
Check out that beautiful betting big board, man. Innovation all over the place here at the PFL Challenger Series. Our next fight is brought to you by Redcon 1. Travis Davis, Bam Bam they call him, and Brucey Soto, who told us that it's his fight IQ that's going to get him over the top in this one. Remember, 4 winners at the end of the night, but only one person walks away with a contract. Back to JSB.
Thank you so much, Sean. And to be able to get a contract, you've got to show us what you've got in the cage and with your personality. So we wanted all of these fighters to show us what they have, who they are as a showman. So we gave them the opportunity to introduce themselves.
Diretamente de Belo Horizonte, Brasil, com 14 vitórias, 3 derrotas, 3 finalizações, 3 nocautes, Brucey, Soldado de Cristo Soto!
All right, here he is. What do you guys think?
He has some energy.
He does have some energy. Listen, he gave himself the walk. The Michael.
I'm excited to see the IQ.
I'm excited to see the IQ.
Because usually other people say you have a high IQ.
And not yourself.
Not yourself. I'm willing to give him that.
I want to see that. I want to see that. Absolutely.
Show me state. That's where I'm from.
Show me state.
He looks ready to go.
He looks ready to go. He really looks ready to go.
All right, so let's check out his opponent, Travis Davis.
Fighting out of Columbus, Ohio, coming in at 205 pounds with a record of 10-5, Travis Bam Bam Davis.
Bam Bam Davis. Definitely looking to spark some action.
That man got the name Bam. That man got the name Bam Bam at 8 years old.
That man was scrapping in Thailand off a whim.
Somebody knew something at 8 years old to name him Bam Bam. And he a Marine.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I mean, you're going to have to put him out.
He's showing the personality.
Listen, he's going to keep coming all night long. This is going to be a good one.
All right, Sean, we got a lot of energy and personality. Let's see what we got next.
Well, what we have next is our Tale of the Tape, brought to you by Redcon 1. Travis Davis is 4 years older, both men coming in at 6 feet tall. Brucey Soto actually weighed in below the 205-pound light heavyweight limit. He has a 1-inch reach advantage on the arms. United States versus Brazil in this second PFL Challenger Series light heavyweight bout.
There's Travis Davis. Got a bunch of tattoos like my partner over here, Sean O'Connell. But this guy, he's all about violence. He wants to go out there and scrap from the get-go, a lot like Brucey Soto, which is why I'm so excited about this fight. And there is Brucey Soto. Looks fired up himself, very well-rounded. Has an excellent MMA IQ, can adjust on the fly. Oh, this is going to be fun. I can sense the violence.
There's a referee for this bout, Andrew Glenn, to oversee 3 5-minute rounds of light heavyweight pro mixed martial arts action. Brucey Soto in the light gray trunks, Travis Davis in the black. A contract in the PFL on the line for one and only one of our 4 winners tonight. Touch of the gloves, and we are underway in the second bout of the evening. Soto takes the center of the cage. Jab to the body just misses for Travis Davis. Another one from the former Marine.
Watch for that uppercut after Davis kind of feinting to the body here. Pretty tricky striker is Davis. And Soto, you got to watch out for the knees of Soto.
Nice leg kick there from Brucey Soto. Remember, Soto told us he can get a quick read on his opponent, so he's kind of hesitant. He watches, and apparently what he saw is that he needs to beat up that lead leg. Jab gets through there from Travis Davis. Another leg kick from Soto. Feints that time, and this time it's Davis with the leg kick. Back to the body with that jab.
Yeah, so far it's been the punching of Davis versus the kicking of Soto.
An exchange of kicks and an exchange of jabs. Evenly matched so far between these two individuals.
Oh.
That right hand hit the neck. The forearm to the neck. It's not quite a punch.
Ooh, nasty heavy leg kick there, Sean.
Left hand comes up over the guard there for Travis Davis. Back and forth we go in the early part of this first round. Another jab to the body. Wonder if they saw something on tape where he thought that would be good to set something else up.
Nice adjustment there by Davis to block that leg kick from Soto. Oh, and he goes for the leg. The pace is starting to pick up here, Sean. These guys want it.
Davis is a finisher. 9 of his 10 wins have come via finish. Submissions, though. He's a submission specialist, and does catching the kick and landing on top get him into the spot he wants to be.
Well, we knew Davis was not going to be afraid to go to the floor here with the Brazilian as he tries to move into half guard now.
You know, we saw Davis at season 3 of the PFL in the corner of another light heavyweight contender. That was Dan Spahn. Now, I fought Dan Spahn. These guys trained together. That's a tough camp to be a part of, both of these guys.
Yeah, that's right. And Davis talked about that. Fighting out of Ohio, he said, just on that local scene, he's like, there's so many tough guys. It's been a hotbed for wrestling for many years as well. So Davis feels like he is poised and ready here to compete in the PFL, having been here and cornered guys like Dan Spahn. I think that really helps mentally.
Yeah.
Davis on top, floating, trying to pass the guard of Brucey Soto, who uses the butterflies to maintain some control. Man, Ray Lewis is intense even when he's just watching a sport. Front headlock position here for Davis.
Oh, boy. Oh, he's looking for that front choke here.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Pretty tight. Soto.
Oh,
he's got
boy.
the cage to get him behind.
Oh, boy. Oh, he let it go. Oh, he let it go.
Nice little submission attempt there from Davis, showing some versatility.
Yes, Soto looked like he was in trouble for a little bit. Did a good job of blading his body to the fence and towards Davis to get out. Now getting back to his feet. Good job.
90 seconds remain here, less than that in round number 1. Back and forth we go. Travis Davis exerting a little bit of authority here in the first round. Jeremy Piven kicking back with a little cigar.
Yeah.
Having himself a night out in LA. Oh, nice exchange there. Back and forth, as I said.
Oh.
This time it's Davis with 2 left hands and a right.
Yeah, nice combination there from Davis. And you know, Soto said he has a great ability to adjust. Well, he's got some serious adjustments to make here as we get a little bit closer to round 2.
Stomp kick from Davis. Davis has shown a wide array of attacks so far in this.
Oh, there's the knee! Oh, my goodness!
Flying knee and the follow-up for a first round finish.
That has been his signature move. You got to watch out for those knees. And wow!
My goodness.
What an adjustment. He did it at the right time.
Time, my goodness.
Just at the end
Time,
of
my
round
goodness.
1.
Just saying he was showing a wide
Oh,
array.
my. What?
Davis.
Oh, my
Like,
goodness.
kneecap introduction.
Wake up, mama. Wake up.
As Tyler Woodley did say,
Ain't time to go to sleep now. Wake up.
I was praising Travis Davis for showing the wide array of techniques, and then it was Brucey Soto who uncorks the jumping knee.
Wow.
The knee entered thine chin.
The
Ever so
knee
quickly.
answered. Oh,
Ever
man.
so quickly did it.
Jeremy, what you think, man? That's crazy right there.
You know, it's interesting because it felt like it came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
The fight was going the other direction.
Yeah.
Jeremy, my goodness. My goodness.
This is what makes MMA so great, man. The fight can change in an instant.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. That one moment, and everything changes.
Risk and reward.
Risk and reward.
So
The risk.
I guess it pays to celebrate yourself, right?
Yeah.
He was celebrating his own fighter IQ.
He was.
What can we say?
What can we say?
He recognized the head was low. A lot of body jabs was thrown.
He did. He
Set
did.
him up with a lot of leg
Breathing
kicks.
hard. Every time you breathe hard, the body bends.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
A jubilant Brucey Soto in his corner, celebrating his first PFL victory. There it is, Kenny.
Man, just beautiful timing there. And he never stopped fighting. That was the thing. You know, he could have said, you know what? I'm going to regroup. I'm going to wait to go into round 2. Look at that knee. Landed right on the money. Unbelievable. Wow.
And the left hand's following up. That's just as important. When you got a guy hurt, someone like Travis Davis will hang around. Ray Lewis said it. That's a former Marine. You got to put him out. That's exactly what Brucey Soto did. And intrigued Jeremy Piven.
Wow. Look at Ray. He couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Ian Parker. Ian Parker.
Oh, like he knew the whole time. Yeah, right, Ian.
Ian Parker told you that the smart money was on Brucey Soto,
He did.
especially when those odds came down. That man, Betstradamus. You know what? We'll take a look at some replays. We'll hear from our celebrity panelists, and we'll talk to Brucey Soto. One fighter, one winner tonight gets a PFL contract. Was that enough? We'll see.
Deus já escreveu, tá escrito. Deus já escreveu, tá escrito.
We're back for PFL Challenger Series action, and action is just what we got in our second bout of the evening. Watch the PFL Challenger Series plus over 100 channels of live sports and TV without cable with Fubo TV. Visit FuboTV.com/PFL. Now we'll take a look at our fight stats, brought to you by the Air Force Reserve. The Cajunomics actually in favor of Travis Davis. He looked like he was putting together a solid performance, but one of those leg strikes happened to be a flying knee that put the former Marine down. Impressive outing by Brucey Soto.
I told you, man, I was sensing violence in this one. Both these guys so aggressive. Travis Davis was fighting a heck of a fight. Both men staying very active. Travis Davis getting it done early. Some excellent striking, some excellent takedowns. But that was the adjustment right there from Brucey Soto. One knee changed the whole fight. Just beautiful timing on that right knee. Went upstairs, landed right underneath the jaw of Travis Davis, and that was it. I mean, you're looking for heart when you're watching these fighters, and Brucey Soto never gave up on himself. Went for the win as the round was dwindling down, just a few seconds left. And man, was he able to capitalize. Sean, back to you, buddy.
Thank you, Kenny Florian. Inside of our cage with the official result. As we just saw, your winner by knockout by flying knee at 4:43 in round number 1. Brucey Soto. All right, we'll grab our winner, Brucey Soto, here. And then our translator.
It's
Brucey,
completely
very
broken.
impressive performance. You talked about your fight IQ. You had to make some adjustments to land that flying knee. How difficult was it to make those adjustments?
Bruce, performance impressionante. Você falou com a gente aí do seu QI como lutador. Os ajustes que teve que fazer aí para poder pegar essa vitória aí com joelhada voadora no final do primeiro round.
Eu senti ele muito forte no início do round, né? Ele tem uma diferença de peso maior que a minha, mas eu estava bem tranquilo, consegui conectar meus golpes. A gente estudou ele bastante esses dias, né? Depois que ele entrou. E eu percebi que toda vez que eu pressiono, que a pessoa pressiona ele entra nas pernas. E eu disse aos meus treinadores, eu vou pressionar até ele entrar na minha perna e eu conectar o joelho.
So I felt his power. I felt he was heavier and stronger than me here. And this was a late replacement, but my coaches and I studied his game plan extensively over the past 2 days, and I noticed that whenever you put pressure, he goes for the takedowns. He would go for my legs, and the moment he'd come for my legs, I would land the flying knee.
Well, a lot of this format is about impressing our celebrity panelists impressing Ray Sefo, impressing the fans. A flying knee finish, pretty darn impressive. Is it enough, you think, to get you a PFL contract at the end of tonight?
Esse formato aqui enfim, o negócio todo aqui é você impressionar os fãs, impressionar o painel, impressionar o Rei Sefo, impressionar todos aqui dentro. Você acha que você fez o suficiente para, enfim, levar para casa esse contrato aí no final da noite?
Eu sei que eu vim aqui para dar o meu melhor. Eu me esforcei o máximo que eu pude e consegui essa vitória, mas essa vitória foi para minha família, para os meus filhos, para minha esposa Carla, que está em casa. Eu não luto por mim, eu luto para minha família, eu amo a minha família e eu tenho certeza que Deus vai me honrar com esse contrato. Eu acho que eu mereço.
I don't fight for myself. I fight for my family, for my wife Carla watching this fight back at home. I fight for you. I fight for my loved ones, and I know God's going to honor me with this contract by the end of the night.
All right, let's see what our celebrity panelists had to say about this exciting finish. Over to you, JSB.
Well, thank you so much, Sean. Wow, what a fight. Holy boats. That was something I've never seen before. We see Brucey Soto be in that tight guillotine choke, gets out of it with the knockout by flying knee. And Tyron Woodley, what was it that you saw from Brucey that he was able to really dominate this fight?
Speaking of, I told him earlier, I'm from the show me state. He talked about his IQ. I said, you can't just tell me, you have to show me. So respect will be applied to his name. He went out there, he utilized the leg kicks first, chopping down a tree. He already had that in the back of his mind. So when his body gestures to another leg kick, that opened up the flying knee. He was not winning the fight, but it was very competitive. He chose to take the last moment.
Você teve que ser competitivo. Começou ali com a guilhotina que estava pegada e a transição de você pegar e conseguir sair na vitória.
Eu sou um cara que não desiste da luta. Se você olhar minhas lutas para trás, eu já quebrei minha mão, já rompi o ligamento do meu joelho tomando um leg lock, mas eu não desisto. Como eu disse para minha família, para os meus amigos, enquanto eu estiver respirando aqui dentro, enquanto não me desligar, eu vou continuar buscando a vitória.
I just don't give up. I'm going to keep on moving forward. I've had my hand broken, ligaments torn, fighting. As long as I'm awake, I'm going to keep on fighting inside this cage.
Brucey Soto with a big finish tonight here in the PFL Challenger Series. Congratulations.
Parabéns pela, enfim, vitória incrível aqui hoje no Challenger Series.
Obrigado. Queria agradecer a todo mundo aqui presente. Eu quis dar esse grande show para vocês. Sem vocês, o público, a gente não é nada. Então, muito obrigado. Obrigado a Deus mais uma vez, que Ele cresça e eu diminua.
I'd like to thank everyone here. Without God, nothing of this is possible. He's too big, I'm too small. Thank you, everyone.
Strong performance and a statement made by Brucey Soto. More light heavyweight action to come. There's Alexander Popik, old Ironside, getting ready for his PFL Challenger Series bout. And his opponent, Taylor Johnson, is not right there, but Taylor Johnson, a former national champion wrestler, how does PFL on Fubo TV is brought to you by Columbia Care, the official CBD partner of the PFL. Next Level Hydrogen Water, the official water of the PFL. CarParts.com. Get the right parts right now at CarParts.com. And by Redcon One, the highest state of readiness. Welcome back to PFL Challenger Series action live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Light heavyweights win a contract, become a millionaire. Julie Stewart-Binks, she already did that.
I wish, Sean, but some of these guys are really proving their efforts tonight. We've already had so much action in the cage. In our first fight, we saw Carl with the K. Williams beat Miles Amos. He had that ground and pound attitude, grappling control. He took him down at will, was dominant from start to finish. The panel really liked his attitude, his athleticism, and his personality when being interviewed. And we just saw another fight right now, our second fight of the four, Travis Davis taking on Brucey Soto. This one, it was short, but boy, was it sweet. We saw that Brucey Soto had those leg kicks early, but Travis Davis had that tight guillotine chokehold. We thought that he was going to be able to get the submission, but not. Brucey Soto, he got out, and boy, did he get out. He had the knockout by flying knee. It was absolutely insane seeing that in real life. We heard Ray Lewis right now just say, when you see it in person, it's nothing better than that, because it is something to witness and behold. And so we know that both of these winners will stay with us at the very end. We'll be able to see how they compare to the next two fights that will happen. So Sean, still a lot left to go, but we've already been very impressed so far.
Thank you, JSB. That's right. Those are the two winners. Carl Williams helping Brucey Soto. He's taking his gloves off. Couple of wins on the right side of the card here. We'll move on in the action to Taylor Johnson and Alexander Popek. Popek, the larger man, the better record, and yet finds himself an underdog on the card tonight. So how is Ian Parker betting this one?
Well, Sean, as you said it, Popek is the bigger man, possibly the better striker here, but as we've seen when he's gotten to a certain level, he's fallen short, and I'm going to lean on Taylor Johnson's wrestling and grappling to get it done. At all times, it is now. Look for Taylor Johnson at minus 175 to use that fight IQ, take advantage of what could be a final opportunity, and wrestle his way to victory. Now, the wrestling might not be the way to impress the panel, but a win first, then impress them. Maybe he gets to finish, but we're going to go with Taylor Johnson at minus 175.
All right, thank you, Ian. By the way, Ian Parker hit on his last recommendation. What did he tell us in the previous bout? He said, take Brucey Soto. Brucey Soto with the first round finish. You can enter Fubo TV's fan view mode and enter the free-to-play predictive questions for a chance to win $1,000. We'll move on in the action. It's Germany versus USA, 3 5-minute rounds. This fight brought to you by Next Level Hydrogen Water, the official water of the PFL. Over to you, JSB.
Yeah, you know me, I'm Julie Stewart-Binks. We know that these fighters know how to fight, but what kind of person are they? We want to see their personality, their showmanship. Can they entertain us? So we gave them the opportunity to introduce themselves to the world.
Born in Eugene, Oregon, fighting out of Redmond, Oregon. My bad. Born in Eugene, Oregon, fighting out of Redmond. Record of 7-3. Tombstone Taylor Johnson. Born in Eugene, Oregon, fighting out of Redmond, holding a record of 7-3 with 5 KOs, 2 submissions. Tombstone Taylor Johnson. Is that a little better?
All right, here he comes. He's buried a few people in his life, he said. What do you guys think?
Bro, Tombstone Taylor Johnson.
He said he got it done in the first round quite a few times, so
absolutely.
He has to get back to his old ways.
He has to get back to his old ways. He's been on the big stages. Can he get it done? Can he get it done?
Well, it's time to see.
Listen, bro, this is not just a contract, right? This is $1 million journey. Like, this is real business. Seriously.
You gotta get here to get there.
You gotta get this. You gotta get this paper,
Yeah.
man. What? $1 million? I'm running through a brick wall.
He looks way too calm, and he looks like the kind of guy who, like, if he got out of his car in traffic, he would scare the hell out of you. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be frightening.
Hey, Jeremy, that's a bad day. That's a bad day.
All right, well, let's see if this next guy, the opponent, will scare you if he gets out of his car.
From Dachau, Germany, fighting out of Munich, with a record of 12-3, 7 KOs, two-time international champion, Alexander Ironside Popek.
Well, he definitely has a height advantage. He looks to strike with the 7 KO, so he looks like a wrestler versus striker.
He looked like he always pissed off. It just looked like he just want to wake up.
He woke
mad.
up that way.
He woke up just like that.
He woke up like
I don't want to smile. I don't want breakfast. I don't want nothing. I just want to fight.
And take pictures as Ironside.
Listen, as Ironside. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Germans are not known for their comedy, so he's just all about tragedy.
He said tragedy.
But I have the same stomach tattoo, so we're okay.
Same team.
Yeah, same team. Even though I'm Jewish and he's German, we can have a healing session.
Amen to that.
And on that note, let's send things over to Sean for more.
We'll take a look at our tail of the tape, brought to you by Next Level Hydrogen Water. Taylor Johnson, 2 years older. He is 3 inches shorter. He weighed in 2 pounds lighter. But he's a long-armed individual. Only a 1-inch reach disadvantage on Taylor Johnson. 3-inch reach advantage on the leg.
And there is Popek, a guy who really means business, very aggressive striker, one of the top prospects out of Europe. I tried to check out the gym last night, and he was in there shadow boxing, and I was like, I'm not opening that door. He looked very serious. He was taking up a lot of room in the gym as well. And there is Taylor Johnson. Out of his 7 wins, all 7 are by finish. Got to watch out for his hands. He's heavy hands, but also a very good grappler, so that gives him options. This should be a fun one.
There's our referee, Larry Folsom. 3 5-minute rounds of pro light heavyweight mixed martial arts action. Remember, PFL Challenger Series, 4 winners at the end of the night get narrowed down to 2 finalists by the league. One of those individuals will receive a contract, and that will start potentially a $1 million journey. Johnson in the light gray, Popek in the dark.
Just the way that both these guys fight, I'd be very surprised if this one goes the distance. Both very aggressive. There's a nice takedown there from Johnson.
Johnson came in behind the left hand and blasted through Alexander Popek. Gets this one down to the ground with less than 30 seconds gone in the first round. I'm curious, Kenny, to see how the results of our last bout affect the strategy for both of these individuals. You saw Brucey Soto get a highlight finish. You know that only one contract is going to be awarded at the end of tonight. Might be a motivator to be seeking finish, riskier techniques, etc.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if they're watching, they're definitely going to get very aggressive. They need to stand out here and impress the celebrity panelists. All the while, make sure that they are being able to get the win and impress the fans that are watching. So right now, Johnson's trying to get the back of Popek away from the cage, try to get him pinned to the mat. See if he can do that here.
Johnson controlling the legs. He's mounted actually on the legs of Alexander Popek. He's got the figure 4 lock. Popek does a great job of getting one leg out. That's his left leg. Posting now on his left hand, trying to gain some elevation here. Head position here from Taylor Johnson. You heard Ray Lewis talking about that earlier in the night in our first bout. That is a key to control against the cage.
Air Popek's in a much better position now. Now back to his feet.
Strong whizzer from Popek, and look, he's just a big, strong guy. 6'3", true 205-pounder. Taylor Johnson has fought in lower weight classes before, although with that musculature, I'm not sure how he ever made it down that far.
Right now, Popek doing a good job of framing that leg on the outside of the leg of Johnson so he can't get a takedown. Johnson almost got a lift there, though.
You also should evaluate the kind of emotion right now. He's in the clinch against a cage. He's going to get the takedown. If he does, he's going to do damage there. So right now, he needs to really evaluate. Am I going to get this takedown? He should have let go and come on swing.
Decisions for Taylor Johnson, who finds himself in a controlled position here. Popek, of course, the onus is on him. He's got to get himself out of this spot. Heavy pressure from the American.
Well, it's tough because for Johnson, yes, he can strike, but he definitely has the advantage in the grappling realm. Popek, much more experience with his striking.
See, yeah, you know what's interesting is when people see this at home and they're like, oh man, they're just against, but it's that one move that if you make the wrong move, it goes really bad very quickly. So for them to be pinned up against it, that was a lot of strategy going on mentally. This is going to be a really interesting round to finish it off.
Folsom, our referee, separates them, and back to the center of the cage they go. A couple of kicks here from Alexander Popek.
And Popek's another guy. You got to watch out for those knees coming right down the middle. That would be a nice way to counter that level change from Johnson.
Interesting. You see Popek kind of lowering his level, fighting with a wide stance, bending a little bit. Taylor Johnson fighting very upright.
Yeah, he is. You see him. He's very relaxed, very patient.
Well, we talked about this when we were discussing things in the pre-show. Taylor Johnson has been on big stages before. He's fought in Bellator. He's fought a Contender Series fight for the UFC. He's here in the Challenger Series, but perhaps his kind of last shot at making a jump to the big leagues. He's showing some real poise.
Yeah, definitely. He's fought some really good talent as well. Ed Ruth, Andre Muniz. So he definitely knows what it's like to fight a high-level and elite opponent. Oh, nice uppercut there by Popek. Not sure it landed clean, though.
High kick glances off the guard there of Taylor Johnson as well. Popek trying to work himself into a striking groove here. Johnson a couple of kicks to the body of the German. Searching for there for Popek. Johnson comes in behind the jab, and now winging the right hand. Nice head movement there by Popek to stay underneath.
This is where Popek needs to lead the dance. He needs to back up Johnson and use those long-range weapons and keep Johnson on the outside.
Round one will come to a close with a little blood on the brow of Taylor Johnson, who spent a lot of time pressing Alexander Popek up against the barrier, but there was not any meaningful offense landed. There was just a controlled position, which of course begs the question of how commission judges are going to call a round like that. There's nothing really meaningful happening in those 2-minute or 3-minute stalemates. Oftentimes it comes down to what happens when you reset and you're at distance. Take a look at the replay here, Kenny.
It was a good start for Johnson. Nice level change there. Drove all the way through, kept those legs going, hit the takedown there. Some knees up against the clinch there, up against the cage from Johnson. They were later separated. And then it was Popek who had some good moments on the feet as well. And there's the uppercut. Looked like it was a little collision of heads, but I'm not sure it really was significant.
Might have been what caused the little cut there as Taylor Johnson reaches for that eyebrow. Nothing to be mad about, totally inadvertent on the headbutt there.
Yeah, that's right.
If anything, he's the one who initiated it. Second round, 5 minutes gone already here. Popek tests another high kick. That's the third or fourth of those he's thrown. Retreating now as Johnson presses forward.
Johnson doing a good job at attacking that body with that lead left kick.
Alexander Popek, one of the highest rated European prospects in the world right now. Coveted unsigned talent, but he's got to win here to keep the hopes of the PFL invitation alive. Taylor Johnson wears a couple of punches. Nice combination there from Popek, a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, it looked like that last combination was able to open up that cut again. And this is where Popek needs to be. This is where he's finding the most amount of success, when he's coming behind that jab, backing up Johnson repeatedly.
He's got Johnson back to where he can't retreat any further. Nice circling out there by Johnson. A little more comfort, it appears, from Popek now, stringing some combinations together. Jab and a right hand there from Taylor Johnson. 90 seconds gone in round number 2. Kenny, what is Popek trying to set up with those inside leg kicks?
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to set up that left hook or overhand right off of that inside leg kick.
Hey, there's Jeremy Piven, one of our celebrity panels.
I feel like at any moment, you know, he's going to connect here, and someone could go to sleep, because there's power in that right hand. He's dragging him around. Oh my God.
Nice shot and a reshot there from Taylor Johnson, as Popek had almost successfully defended this takedown. Johnson drags the German. And the control on the legs, that's one thing that you'll see from Taylor Johnson. He immediately tries to climb on top of the German's legs, take away the base from Alexander Popek.
But Popek can still get back to his feet. He only really has one leg tied up. The other one is just with the arm. So if he can base up and get that right leg behind him as he blades his body, he can get back to his feet here.
Wow. His control on how he traps the legs. I mean, take somebody's legs away from them. They're at your will. And that's why I think he controls him when he gets him to the ground, because his leg game is it's incredible.
And almost on cue, Alexander Popek is able to free his legs. Now he's got double underhooks. Head position as well for the German. Reversed by Johnson, who ducks all the way under, but slips out the back door. Alexander Popek, nice counter wrestling there. And there's blood on the side of his head. Is that from Taylor Johnson, or did the ear pop? Couple of jabs there from Alexander Popek.
And this is where Popek needs to start putting that pressure after Taylor was working hard to try to keep him down and utilize his wrestling. This is where Popek can kind of take advantage and do something to impress the judges to win this round, and of course impress our panelists as well.
Not only fighting for a win on their records, one fighter, one of our 4 winners tonight, will receive a contract from the Professional Fighters League. Win a contract, become a millionaire. That's the goal for all of these individuals. No guarantee you'll get invited to the regular season, at least not in season 4 starting in April. But what about next year? What about the next year? You want to be part of the pipeline for the Professional Fighters League. And to be honest, at 205 pounds, guys like Shoeface, Emiliano Sordi still in that talent pool. It's not like we've had a 2 or 3 season dominant champion at 205 pounds, like in some of the other weight classes.
Heavy combination there by Taylor Johnson.
Nice body shot and a left hand to follow it from Popek. Johnson looks to steal another takedown before the end of the round. The German defends. Very interesting second round here. You saw the successful wrestling once again from Taylor Johnson, but a much briefer period of control for him. And you see the blood and damage on the face of Taylor Johnson. So Alexander Popek had a little bit more offensive success with the striking there.
Yeah, that's right. Here's that 1-2 there from Popek, utilizing those long-range weapons. He's the taller, rangier guy, and he used it very well in round 2. There's another little blitz that seemed to stun Taylor a little bit. Taylor with a nice level change there. Went for that knee tap. Able to change levels yet again and was persistent. Got that double leg, controlled the legs very well there for a moment. Able to follow up. I'm really curious to see how the corners are going to come into play here, guys. I mean, very even fight so far, it seems. And what are they telling their fighters at this pivotal moment here?
Look, it's great to impress the fans who have a vote. It's great to impress the celebrity panelists that have a vote. But first, you've got to win the fight. And this one may very well be a round apiece on the judges' scorecard. Alexander Popek, German prospect in the dark Valetudo trunks. Taylor Johnson, the American, in the light gray. Johnson, a former collegiate wrestler, actually an NAIA wrestling champion, coming in aggressively.
And these guys have stayed busy, Sean. I'm impressed with their conditioning. They've stayed in each other's faces. They've been aggressive. Taylor with his wrestling and Popek, of course, with the striking. Kick went a little low there.
I never want that. I never want that. My God.
An apologetic Taylor Johnson.
Apologies, you know.
Good display of sportsmanship. Inadvertent low blow. Popek now switching to a southpaw stance temporarily, as does Johnson. Body kick, then a high kick from Alexander Popek. Another body kick from Taylor Johnson. Oh, left hand lands and drops Popek temporarily, who now
beautiful throw.
A huge toss from Taylor Johnson.
Man, Taylor had a lot of confidence in those heavy hands, and that's exactly what he showed right there. Huge shot there by Johnson, and this may have won him the round so far. He's in a great position here. Had Popek hurt for sure.
Tell you what, Kenny, equally impressive to that left hand landing was the counter wrestling and the high amplitude toss.
Yeah, that was a beautiful throw.
Wow. When is more important than how. It's when you land it.
Wow.
If you're Alexander Popek, this is not a place you want to be, under a former All-American and national champion wrestler in half guard.
No, he's trying to work for that underhook. See if he can get to the side of his hip and get back to his feet here. Taylor knows exactly what he wants to do, though, and doing a good job of winning head position, getting that underhook back, and driving that forearm into the neck of Popek. This is where experience really comes into play. And fighting high-level competition like Taylor has, you see him very composed. He's doing exactly what he needs to do to keep Popek on his back here.
And what did Ian Parker tell us when he was given the pick for this fight? He said Alexander Popek has a lot of skills. He's an impressive physical specimen, but every time he's been on the big stage, he's come up short so far in his career. He's about 2 minutes away from potentially losing this one as he goes for a leg lock to get himself out. Johnson is able to escape it, spin back around. Ian Parker, you told us that Popek comes up short in situations like this one when you were picking this fight. Is the same thing happening right now?
It looks that way. And, you know, we talked about Taylor Johnson's IQ, what he had to get done here. And, you know, the first round he leaned on his wrestling. The second round, I think it went to Popek. And in the third round, he came out aggressive. You know, I believe you and Kenny both mentioned Popek's base was a little too square, almost like he was so worried about the takedown, which really did then open up Johnson's striking. So when you're a dominant wrestler and the guy's getting taken down at will, we see it often. It left it open for Taylor to land that left hook. And then since then, it's been all Johnson this round. I think he's going to get the decision win here.
Yeah, that's the value of having well-rounded skills and heavy hands like Taylor does.
Taylor Johnson wrestling into his own corner here. Fabiano Scherner offering some advice to the American.
So far, Popek just doesn't have an answer right now to this body lock here.
Popek able to get himself out the window, and now
beautiful back take.
Taylor Johnson has 30 seconds left to try and sneak a finish in.
Popek's got to be careful as he's bridging. He's opening up that space underneath the neck. Taylor might be able to get a finish here. Gets right into mount. Nice transition there by Johnson.
Strong right hand and then a left from Taylor Johnson, who now pours it on.
Oh, yeah.
Good scramble underneath from Alexander Popek, but Taylor Johnson will finish the round and the fight on top. Taylor Johnson. Round 1 maybe, round 3 maybe. We'll find out what the judges thought of this one.
Wow.
Man.
I'm talking about Taylor Johnson's game. Brawler. He's a straight brawler. He is so dominant on the ground, Ty, that wow.
But he also appreciated the moment.
Yeah.
He went out there and said, I got to get this round.
Yeah.
He went out there and got that round. He took that round.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, he finished strong. He looked like Johnny Big Rig Henderson. Remember?
Yeah.
He clipped him on the top of his head and took him down and wrestled and brought it home.
Wow.
Brought that Johnson & Johnson.
So our celebrity panelists seem to think that Taylor Johnson did enough. We'll find out what the official commission judges think when we return.
Hey, good straight long. You felt that one? Hey. You're so big, dude. Big boy. We gotta gain a little weight. We gotta put some size on. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Hi. I forgot this is why I love this stuff so much. Yeah, I'll take some. I have ears. I have ears.
No chill. NBA legend Gilbert Arenas and his co-host Twitter sensation Josiah Johnson give an insider's perspective on everything happening in the world of basketball. Football Sports Network and wherever you get your podcasts. Take a look at our Cagenomics post-fight stats brought to you by the Air Force Reserve. Taylor Johnson, 3 takedowns, but the striking in the advantage of Alexander Popek. Not really a big surprise there. He's a striking specialist, but the wrestler with those 3 takedowns, very impactful in this fight. Take a look at our damage meter brought to you by carparts.com. Alexander Popek wore 23 strikes to the head. His left leg absorbed some. You saw the body taking some of those kicks from Taylor Johnson as well.
Yeah, that's right. Really, it came down to whoever was kind of leading the dance. And when Popek was backing up Taylor Johnson, he was very successful, but it was that big overhand left there from Taylor Johnson that got it done. And how about this counter throw from Taylor Johnson in round 3? Almost went right into Mount as well. Ended up getting Mount to end the round. tremendous overall game there from Taylor Johnson. And here's that beautiful back take there from Taylor Johnson. Looked like he was going to get close to that rear naked choke when Popik was opening up that chin. But didn't matter. He's able to transition very well and get right into mount. Showed some good experience there and patience and composure. Did it come down to that round 3? Sean, back to you.
Thank you, Kenny. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored at 29-28 for your winner, Taylor Tombstone Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank this freaking guy, man. Holy crap. Bless you, man. Bless you. You're freaking stuff.
All right, Taylor Johnson.
Dude, you guys are tough, man. Holy crap. Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless you guys.
All right, PFL Challenger Series debut successful. Let's talk about the strategy. Use the wrestling in round number 1. Round 2, seemed content mostly to stand, and then back to the wrestling in round 3.
My goal was this fight, win, lose, or draw. I was going to come out and try to be a master and control myself. If anyone's watched my previous fights, I come out like a wild man, trying to body people in the first round, but you know, this is a tough opponent. Many of the guys I'm going to face are going to be tough, so putting 15 minutes worth of work together is what's important. I tried to display that in this fight.
Well, in the 3rd round, you were able to clip him with that winging left hand. Did you think you'd be able to get the finish after that?
Potentially, but again, I'm trying to force things. I might not have been able to hold top position and, you know, keep dominating there. So trying to be more intelligent, not such a, I guess, a beast, you could say.
All right, well, a win is a win. Let's see what the celebrity panelists thought about it. JSB?
Sean, Taylor Johnson with a dominant 3rd round. Ray, we saw the reactions. What was unique about his performance?
Taylor Johnson's ground game is out of control. I love what he does when he gets people on the ground.
Tyron Woodley, what stood out about his performance tonight?
I mean, we're not going to sit here and act like we didn't just see him with the Shakira hips during the announcement, but he utilized that for the hip throw. He utilized that for the takedown. Utilized it to get out of bad position. So him utilizing his wrestling background really got him the victory tonight.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Piven, does this guy still scare you coming out of his car?
Absolutely. You set up that takedown with that overhand left, and just like your tattoo says, you are relentless.
All right, thanks, guys. Sean, back to you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen and Julie. All right, so Tyron Woodley said you got the Shakira hips. The hips don't lie. Jeremy Piven told us that if a guy like you gets out of his car on the freeway, it's going to be a bad day. You're not the type of guy that's going to get out of his car on the freeway.
If someone's in danger, I will be the first out to make sure nothing goes bad. But no, I try to keep my cool, man. Smiles is what you see.
Taylor Johnson, hero and winner tonight on the PFL Challenger Series. Will it be enough to impress the fans? Don't forget to go vote. The celebrity panelists seem to like it. One more fight to go here before we're done in light heavyweight action on the PFL Challenger Series. There's Josh Silveira, son of a legendary coach, but looking to write his own legacy in the sport of mixed martial arts. And Muhammad Guma came all the way from Cairo for this opportunity.
Martial arts are remarkable.
Congratulations on your success. Congratulations on your success.
Josh Silveira, training out of American Top Team, a 2-division champion in LFA, and Muhammad Guma, the knockout artist, representing South Sudan, training now in Cairo, Egypt, one of the most coveted prospects from the Middle Eastern region of mixed martial arts worldwide. How are we calling this one, Ian Parker? Please help me.
Sean, I am happy to help. So look, we got the odds here are a little crazy. Minus 1,500 earlier. Josh Silveira was only minus 600, so I was all about getting him in the parlay, but now he's ventured off into the Kayla Harrison betting odds. So at minus 1,500 and only a $6 profit, that doesn't work for me. However, our good friend Ray Lewis told me off camera, take my wallet, take my money, and do whatever you want with it. So I'm gonna bet $1 million right here. Let's punch it in. $1 million on Josh Silveira because I don't mind making $66,000 profit. So Ray, don't worry about this. If we win, I'll only charge you 35%. You keep the rest, and if we lose, we're not gonna lose. I think we're gonna be okay here. Yeah, if you lose, you can just send the ring. We'll be fine.
Be careful.
Ian Parker's trying to pawn Ray Lewis's Super Bowl ring. This feels like a bad strategy. He's getting reckless with that betting big board.
I don't want to get punched by that ring. I mean, you crazy? Come on, Ian.
Oh, man. Thing's beautiful. Don't forget, you as the fans can enter Fubo TV's Fan View Boat to answer free-to-play predictive questions for a chance to win $1,000. If you remember, Kenny Florian, the first live question on Fubo TV's Fan View tonight was, will we see over under 1.5 finishes?
Right.
We're halfway there. We've seen one finish. Ian Parker said we'd see 2 over 1.5. He said take the over.
Right.
We need a finish in our final bout of the evening.
Well, listen, if I'm Guma or if I'm Silveira and I know what happened in the Suto fight, that's what it's on my mind. I got to go out there, not only win, but get a finish and do it impressively.
All right, Julie Stewart-Binks, let's get these fellas out here.
Well, Sean, we know that we have one fight left, but we have so much more action to come as a PFL contract is on the line. And that means we want to see winners, we want to see fighters, but we want to see personality, especially our celebrity panelists and fans that are voting on who will take home the ultimate prize. So we want our fighters to show us who they are and what really drives them. So we gave them a chance to tell us themselves.
أنا من جنوب السودان بلعب باسم مصر ريكوردي 8-2 واسمي محمد كينج جون
All right, here he comes.
Talk to me, Ty.
My man said remember his name.
Remember me. Listen.
I can't forget that.
When somebody says remember your name, this is the proving ground.
Yes.
This is the moment.
And it's great that we have it. This has never been done before.
This has never been done before.
No proving ground has been set where you see the potential.
Absolutely.
And how they deal with the lights.
Yes.
We put them together.
Wow.
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 We thought of it. I'm glad you thought of it, Ray.
Yeah.
No, this is real. There is no take two.
There's no take two.
So we love this.
We love this.
And
is there a discount?
He's got
Come
a
on. Discount for the tournament.
His torso is a little homage to DC, so it's not that intimidating. But you know he could bring something, right?
See, Jeremy adds the torso to the betting odds too.
Yeah, well, we heard him yelling backstage, so he definitely has the intensity. Let's find out who his opponent is.
From Miami, Florida, fighting out of Coconut Creek with a record of 7-0, 2 knockouts, 4 submissions, 2-time LFA champion, middleweight and light heavyweight, Josh Silveira. Everybody.
Oh man, that's a Miami kid, man.
Yeah, look, we got a problem here because we got Coconut Creek, we got Top Team, we have a mullet.
We got a problem.
In the house.
We have a problem. We have a problem.
And he definitely is fighting for the legacy.
He is.
He can say he's not all he wants, but he's fighting for the last thing. He's fighting for the team he fights for. Collision record and his 2 belts.
And he's got some fans in the house.
He does.
You can hear it.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see him fight, really.
Well, he's the son of ATT coach, former fighter Conan Silveira, but he says that he knows he's got to prove his own legacy. Sean, let's see what they got.
Thank you, JSB. Thank you, celebrity panelists. Let's take a look at our tail of the tape. Brought to you by Columbia Care. Muhammad Juma, 26 years of age. Josh Silveira is 29. He's also 2 inches taller, but it is Muhammad Juma with the 3-inch reach advantage in the arms. Silveira, the longer legs.
Where there is Josh Silveira, has an excellent grappling background. Not only is he a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and son of Conan Silveira, but he also wrestled at Arizona State University. So that's a D1 program. So this guy can really get it done in the grappling department, but don't sleep on his striking as well. He's very good at integrating his striking into his grappling.
You see the fight odds have slipped down there to minus 1,200 instead of minus 1,500, so Ian's reckless betting with raised money at least turns a slightly larger profit if it hits.
And there is Guma, a guy out of his 8 wins, 8 are by knockout, and he likes to do it early on. So watch for an early and fast start from Guma.
Our referee overseeing this final bout, Andrew Glenn. Muhammad Guma in the light gray Valetudos. Josh Silveira in the black trunks. Egypt versus Florida. Touch of the gloves and we are underway. Both men in a southpaw stance.
Welcome.
Front kick there up high from Silveira. The left hand glances from Muhammad Guma. As you said, Kenny, this guy likes to get it done early. Big power. Ooh, nice leg kick there from Silveira. And a high kick.
Yeah, Guma's very quick. Looked like one of those jabs surprised Silveira there. And now Silveira in on that double. Oh, Guma was holding on to the cage there a little bit, but now big slam there by Silveira.
And he lands right inside control. Guma goes to his belly to get out of it, and now he's got Silveira choking Muhammad Guma. Squeezing tight, trying to get the tap here. Guma able to work back to his feet. Still sticking his fingers in that cage.
Yeah, the referee that's not seeing it there from that angle. Silveira in on that body lock, though, very deep. This is going to be a big takedown right into side control. Goes Silveira.
Guma keeps grabbing onto the fence. Just can't help himself. Silveira goes to work with the right hand now.
Oh, those are big shots there.
Attempts the knee up high. Muhammad Guma's mouthpiece hanging halfway out. Blitzing attack here from Silveira, who just does not let up on the pressure with the strikes or the grappling exchanges.
Yeah, he's staying in tight, doesn't want to give that space to Guma to land that big shot.
Nice knee up the middle there on the exit. Heavy leg kick there from Silveira.
Yeah, Silveira's finding good success there.
Looks like a cut on the head of Silveira. I wonder where that came from. Or maybe it's just wet hair. Can't tell. 2 minutes gone already. Some energy expended by these two individuals. Another front kick there from Silveira. Snaps the head back of Muhammad Guma.
Yeah, Silveira's getting caught in that medium range. He needs to be all the way out or all the way in on that takedown.
Big winging left hand there from Muhammad Guma. Short chopping hook there from Silveira, who's now in on another takedown attempt. Underhooks here from Muhammad Guma.
Sean, Silveira is so polished. He comes at you at so many different angles, right? Whether it's a takedown, whether when he puts you against the gate, he's always thinking. He's always thinking. Watch, he's gonna switch. Watch, told you, it's crazy.
Absolutely is dictating the pace of this fight right now. Muhammad Guma accounting well for himself in these striking exchanges, though.
Yeah, now Silveira doing a good job of getting all the way out, though. Just took a shot to the groin there.
I mean, it's definitely the variety for me. He's doing everything. He's leg kicking low, knocked him down to the ground off a leg kick, takedowns. We talked about this earlier, economy of motion. He's against the cage with a clinch, purposely getting the takedown, putting him down, dominant position, going for the back. We already seen the submission attempt.
Yeah, there's that left hook kick that went a little too high. He was looking for that inside leg kick. Josh taking his time as he should. Looks like he may be ready to go here.
Welcome.
Time in. Here we go. Fight.
I would take.
Glenn will restart the action here. Two southpaws once again squaring off.
You got kicked in the power source. You got 5 minutes. I would take 12. He took 3. It happens. But he's right back on it. They're like a wet blanket. He's relentless. Love it. It looks like his power source is fine.
That island next time.
Muhammad Guma found himself temporarily on his back and now back to his feet, but he's got Josh Silveira hanging heavy.
Look at this, Guma trying to attack that Kimura there, trying to get that shoulder lock. See if he can turn to a reversal or submission here. Silveira's been here before, though. He's staying nice and calm, trying to transition to the back.
Experience showing there, Kenny, because Josh Silveira didn't even feel like he needed to use both hands to defend that. He just tucked the arm close, let Muhammad Guma try and wrench that arm around.
Yeah, he just stayed heavy with his position, laid on the back here. And this is, a better position for the arm for Guma, but he's got that fence behind him, so he can't really do anything there. So Silveira knows that. He's staying nice and calm. Where you can get yourself in trouble if you move too much, that's when you actually give the submission.
Guma abandons the attempt, ends up with Silveira on his back. 10 seconds remaining here in round number 1. Josh Silveira showing a lot of the arsenal in the first 5 minutes. Muhammad Guma not able to land that power punch. So 6 of his 8 knockout victories, Kenny, have come in the first round. Silveira able to avoid that here.
Silveira started off this fight with a big leg kick. He actually saw Guma as he walked back to his corner, Sean. He was limping on that leg. Excellent leg kick that actually took Guma off of his feet. There was a nice takedown off a body lock, got the angle, tripped out that left leg, got right into side control there. But I was still impressed with Guma's tenacity, his ability to get back to his feet and just make everything a little bit more difficult for Silveira. There was a nice teep to the face from Silveira. Well placed there.
So 1 round gone. Remember, the goal tonight, win a contract, become a millionaire. With an impressive enough performance, one of these 4 winners tonight will be invited to the PFL under contract, either on a developmental level where they participate in showcase fights, or if you do enough, perhaps an invitation to the PFL regular season starting in April. Guma coming in behind 1s and 2s again. Nice work by Silveira to avoid it. Tosses a knee up the middle. And another. And another. Guma able to avoid the majority of the damage from those knees.
And that's that middle range where Silveira really needs to watch out there. This is where he should level change and go for that double leg.
Guma with a shot to the body there, a hook to the body.
Guma's sneaky fast, Sean. Oh, nice double. Uh-oh, look at this. Guma getting on top here.
Silveira looking to hang on the neck here of Muhammad Guma. Guma dropping down, adjusting to a single leg, but his head's on the outside.
Yeah, I'm not sure he wants to get into this type of game here against Silveira, though. He certainly looks like the bigger man in this clinch position, but I think he's wasting a lot of energy. He wants space where he can strike, and he's initiating a grappling
Guillotine
position.
attempt here from Josh Silveira. Grabbed it from the standing position. Guma trying to pull his head out. A squeeze here from Silveira.
Now, actually, Guma's in a better position here on the side. He's not really getting choked here, and he's out. Yep.
Stoppage here from Andrew Glenn. I'm confused what the stoppage is about.
I think Silveira was complaining about the fingers of Guma there.
Pressing on the face, eye gouge?
I think he was looking for like an eye gouge, and Guma actually has been disqualified, I believe, for utilizing an eye poke in the past. Actually, a fish hook in his last fight.
Is taking a point away from Andrew Guma, whose fingers have gone through the cage more than once tonight.
Yeah, there it is. Fish hook. In his last fight, he actually used a fish hook and was disqualified for it. And there's the clear angle, beautiful angle there by our cameraman. Trying to play dentist out there. That's no bueno.
Unbelievable. That type of stuff happens at the bottom of an NFL pile all the time. It's not one-on-one, though. It's a big pile. So, oh, my goodness. He had his whole jaw.
Are there any specific rules in the NFL that you're not allowed to do that? Because in MMA, fish hooking is definitely in the rule book. Not allowed.
If you don't get caught, there's no rule.
Oh. My man went for a complete fish hook.
Yeah.
Full thumb, full commitment, 100% all in. It never happened to me, but I did bite a finger one time in a fight. I got to be honest.
Time in, here we go. Fight!
Mouthpiece in or mouthpiece out, T-Wood? Back to the action we go. Josh Silveira, displeased to say the least with the development of that fish hook.
Yeah, and given Guma's history as well, he got disqualified for a fish hook in his last fight, so that does not look very good for Guma.
Head outside single attempt here from Josh Silveira. Guma trying to return the favor of that guillotine pressure that we saw Silveira attempting earlier in the round. Any real threat here, Kenny?
Not really, you know. For Silveira, he knows if he gets that takedown or if Guma tries to go to his back, he just goes to the opposite side of his head. He gets his legs to the opposite side of his head, so didn't really seem too concerned there. And that's where you got to watch those fingers of Guma as well, right in that clinch position.
Silveira with another takedown attempt. Big time favorite, Josh Silveira in this. Did we expect a more dominant performance?
You know what? At least we hit the over in half a fish hook. You know, I think Silveira is playing it a little bit safe here. You know, Guma is throwing some power behind those punches. I would have liked to see him advance his position, be able to hold it on the ground a little bit more. We still got a lot of fight left as he gets another takedown, and hopefully we'll take the back. Still a lot of time for that finish. I think Silveira is showing a well-rounded skill set. There's been a lot of cage grabs. That fish hook was definitely different, but look for Silveira. I think he still can get this fight done before the end of the fight.
Well, look, Kenny, we know that 4 winners tonight get narrowed down to 2 finalists. And one of those 2 finalists
Look at this, Silvera trying to set up that arm triangle. Sorry, Sean.
Has to impress the celebrity panelists and the fans, and potentially also President of Fighter Operations Ray Sefo to be awarded a contract. As Silvera goes to the mount, can he get a finish? We saw Brucey Soto with a finish earlier tonight. Is that going to be what it takes to guarantee yourself a contract?
I do. I think that's what it's going to take, and this is where he can pull it off right now with 45 seconds left to go. He can set up this arm triangle. He's got his head underneath the arm, not able to pass that elbow across, though.
He elects to go back to some striking here. Josh Silvera better get Muhammad Guma's hands off his face if he doesn't want to get fish hooked again.
Look at that shit.
Silvera complaining again.
Throw the punches.
Left hand coming down on the ear of Muhammad Guma.
See, this is where Silvera should posture up and just start raining down blows. And
there's a nasty right hammer fist from Josh Silvera, who appears to be taking it somewhat personally at this point. End of round two. Silvera will walk back to his corner. Muhammad Guma saved by the bell perhaps there at the end of round two. An eventful round, Kenny Florian.
Yeah, a lot happened in that round, my goodness. There's Silvera with a nice double leg takedown there. Gets that top position, but Guma able to get on top there. Nice reversal there by Guma. And then Silvera attempted that guillotine, wasn't able to get that high elbow on the other side, though. Guma able to escape, and then there's that illegal move there, that fish hook from Guma. Got a point taken away from him. Ray Lewis didn't like it.
Feels like Jeremy Piven might be relying on things like fish hooks and eye gouges and something like that in a fight. I don't want to put that evil on him, but it just wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility. Our third and final round here in our final light heavyweight bout of the evening. A contract potentially on the line with the PFL here in season number 4, starting in April. Josh Silvera, American top team representative and 2-division LFA champion in the black trunks. Muhammad Guma, all the way from Cairo in the gray valet Tudos.
Guma looks pretty winded here. He's starting to drop his head and just swing without really looking at the target here. Silvera with that slow pressure game, just kind of trying to eat up that space and get to that clinch position.
Silvera coming in behind a couple of strikes. Both of them landed. I'd be curious to see if Josh Silvera abandoned the wrestling pursuit and just tried to strike his way to a victory here, how this might go. Again, I'm talking about being motivated for a finish because of what happened with Brucey Soto earlier and the flying knee.
Silvera's got to feint his way in a little bit to try to shut down that offense from Guma. There's a nice left hand from Silvera.
Body kick there from Silvera. Guma continuing to just circle to his left.
Nice level change there.
Excellent timing on that from Josh Silvera. Drags Muhammad Guma to the ground. Now he's got his back. Rear naked choke looks to be in. Is it under the chin? Muhammad Guma getting flattened out, switches to the short choke. Is this the end here, Kenny Florian?
Yeah, it sure is. He's underneath the neck.
A squeeze from Josh Silvera.
Is this it?
Is this it?
Is this it?
Flattens out Muhammad Guma. Guma's not tapping.
Guma ain't tapping. Guma only tapping. Only tapping.
Josh Silvera elicits the tap. Victorious in his PFL debut.
Yeah, Silvera talking to him.
With a message for Muhammad Guma after the victory.
Yeah, Silvera not happy about that foul that took place in round 2. Still upset about it, and probably rightfully so.
Muhammad Guma holds on to the very end and taps.
He just got, listen, Silveira has too much in the arsenal. He's everywhere. He's well-rounded in a lot of things, and he just has too much, man.
And Jeremy, in addition to his well-roundedness, he had the ability to deal with adversity. Grabbing on the fence, fish hooking, all different types of stuff we couldn't even see in the left corner because we was blocked. But it was a lot of illegal stuff happening. He still kept composure, got the finish.
Yeah.
And he was really angry, but he didn't give into his emotions, and he closed the show.
Yeah. Yep.
Did it really well.
So Josh Silveira gets it done in the third round. Checkbox number 1, he got the win. Did he impress the celebrity panelists and the fans enough to get a PFL contract? Find out next. T.O. Get your popcorn ready for T.O. and Hatch.
Really?
Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Air Force Reserve Fight Stats brought to you in our Cageonomics bundle. How about this? Josh Silveira with 6 takedowns. He landed 2/3 of his strikes. You know what I was most impressed by? The front kicks to the face.
Yes.
Kenny Florian, a candidate perhaps for the Columbia Care Move of the Night.
Yeah, really, Sean, it was a variety of weapons, and a lot of it came obviously in the form of his grappling.
Welcome.
But his takedowns, his ability to get superior positions like going right to the back, and here's what he did in round 3. This is what won him the fight. Able to get that forearm underneath the neck of Guma, and there's the tap, double tap. There it is again. Nice job by Silveira, being persistent, stayed on that choke. And then there he is talking to him, said, you fish hooked me, you tried to poke me in the eye. And you know what, Silveira kept his cool, could have been nasty himself. There's Ray Lewis. He liked what he saw. He impressed the big man. There's Tyron Woodley, very intense. Ian Parker likes what he sees. That's a fired up Jeremy Piven. He says it's all over. Good stuff. All right, let's go to Sean O'Connell, who's in the cage. Sean, go ahead.
All right, we'll bring our fighters to the center of the cage. Make this one official. Your winner via stoppage by rear naked choke, 1 minute and 52 seconds into round number 3, Josh Silveira. Impressive performance from Josh Silveira. All right, Josh, come here. Let's talk about this.
Yes, sir.
An eventful fight, to say the least. We saw the fingers going into the cage, and then this is a first for me. I've been around the sport of mixed martial arts a long time. I have never actually seen a fish hooking foul. You've been around the sport a long time as well. Is that a first for you?
That's a first, unless we were fighting in the street, then I've seen it plenty of times, but that was the first time in the ring, you know.
You overcame the adversity not only of the foul, but also, look, he was able to land a couple of nice strikes. We saw some great striking from you. Do you feel like you had an opportunity tonight to put all of your skills on display?
Yeah, you know, I started a little slow, but I do what I do. You know, I do get my takedowns, I grapple, I keep constant pressure. He came to fight, man. He flew all the way from Egypt, I believe, and he came ready, but we put in too much work on American Top Team. We go against adversity any time of the day, baby, any night.
At the end there, after you elicited the tap and he rolled over, you had a couple of words to say. I know you were heated. What was your message to Muhammad Guma in that moment?
Yeah, man, I've been competing for a long time, man. Wrestling, toughest sport ever. You know, you have to have good integrity, man. You know, fish hooking, you know, maybe his fingers slipped in my mouth, but, you know, poking my eyes, and he was biting on me when I was trying to unmount. Little things like that, you know, I fight through it. It's not a big deal, but at the end I had to let him know, like, you don't do that, man. You don't do that. We're all trying to make it to the top, you know, fight fair.
All right, well, you passed that test tonight. Let's see what the celebrity panelists thought about your performance. We go to Julie Stewart-Binks for that input.
Well, Sean, Josh just mentioned there, but he had to deal with a lot of shenanigans in this fight here tonight. And Tyron, you mentioned that there was adversity. What did you like about how he came back in this fight?
What I like about the adversity in this fight is that, one, you have to do it on the big lights. A lot of times you see people develop, you see them grow. They do that later on. You want to know now that if I put him in a tournament, if he's in a final, what he did with adversity. He did with eye pokes, fish hooking, grabbing the cage, but he kept trying to finish, either with a leg kick, he had a guillotine choke a couple times, and he kept going for a head and arm triangle. He was trying to finish this the entire time, and that's what you need to do.
Right, and he got it done tonight. Sean, back to you.
Thank you. Tyron Woodley mentioned you were searching for the finish. After seeing what happened in the action earlier tonight, did you feel like you needed a finish in order to keep yourself in the running for a PFL contract?
Yeah, man, that's the way I fight. Is I always try to get fit. I always try to get the finish. I never try to leave it up to the judges. Everyone knows that's a golden rule, man. You don't leave it up to the judges. Always get a finish. And you know, I don't pay attention too much of what happened before me. Try to focus on my fight, get my finish, and let's keep moving on, man. Let's get that contract.
Still undefeated and victorious tonight, Josh Silveira. And when we come back, our 4 winners narrowed down to 2 finalists, and of course we will find out who will be awarded a PFL contract. Win a contract, become a millionaire.
Thank you very much. Please exit the cage. All right, so now we have our two finalists. Would you please step forward, Brucey Soto and Taylor Johnson?
Thank you, Julie Stewart-Binks. Our two finalists, Brucey Soto, Taylor Johnson, eligible for a PFL contract here in our first night of PFL Challenger Series action at PFLMMA.com. Go cast your vote. Just to remind you, and if you're tuning in now, what got these guys into the position we find them in now, Brucey Soto, can he help me out with this? The Brazilian with the leaping knee, the left hands to follow, a finish, and that was a turning of the tide. He was probably down on the scorecard early in this one.
Yeah, well, he was definitely a part of the craziest fight of the night. What a comeback. Travis Davis fighting a heck of a fight, and then he pulled off that knee.
And Taylor Johnson in the first round with the blast takedown and that left hand. This was in the third round, trying to walk down the longer, taller striker. How about that high amplitude toss on the counter wrestling?
Thank you.
Taylor Johnson and Brucey Soto. One of these two individuals will be awarded a PFL contract when we get back. Go vote now at PFL MMA. You can go to the Fubo TV fan view and vote there, presented by Bud Light. Opportunities abound for the fans. You, as a fan, have a chance to affect the career of one of these two men pretty drastically. Because if all breaks the right way, Kenny Florian, and you know this, not only is it a contract with the PFL, it's potentially an invitation to season 4 of PFL competition. And what comes at the end of season 4? A $1 million championship opportunity.
Man.
So potentially, you the fans, voting now at Fubo TV FanView or on Twitter at PFL MMA, are awarding a contract and an opportunity to someday become a millionaire. We'll find out who gets awarded the PFL contract when we return on Fubo TV.
And I'm feeling
PFL on Fubo TV has been brought to you by Colombian Care, the official CBD partner of the PFL. Next Level Hydrogen Water, the official water of the PFL. CarParts.com. Get the right parts right now at CarParts.com. And by Redcon One, the highest state of readiness. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida and PFL Challenger Series action. The tension is mounting, palpable as they would say. Kenny Florian, as our two finalists are inside of the cage. Only one of these men will be invited to join the PFL with a contract tonight. Julie Stewart-Binks, let us know.
Thank you so much, Sean. All right, let's hear from our celebrity panel. Now, don't tell us who you picked yet, but I want to know your thoughts on our final two fighters that we have here tonight. Tyron, here.
My thought is Johnson definitely, you know, this is a situation where he had another opportunity to come show what he was made of. He did that. He came forth. He fought a taller opponent with a great striking. He showed adversity. My man took the risk. He threw the flying knee when it was a perfect time. He got the job done by finish. So for me, they both showed a great show, but we'll see here in a second who walks away with the deal.
And Ray, what are your thoughts on our final two fighters?
Yeah, kind of similar. You know, you look at Josh and what he done with his ground game. It was absolutely incredible to dominate a person the way he did on the ground, controlling everything that he did. And then when he was out of it and everybody thought that he could not figure it out, right, out of nowhere. It's the first time I've seen that live, but that flying knee kick, I didn't know it land that pretty, but that's resilience. He figured it out.
All right, and Jeremy Piven, your thoughts on our final two?
Electrifying knee, and Johnson just brilliant all-around work. I might need to see them fight each other right now in flip-flops. Is that too much?
All right, well, we'll have to wait for another day to see that, I think. But we have to remind the fans and everyone watching that the celebrity panel makes up one of two votes on who gets the PFL contract. The fans, you also have a say on who gets a PFL contract. If both of these decisions are the same, then the name that we announce will be the winner of the PFL contract. But if the celebrity panel and the fans have a different idea of who should take home the PFL contract, then of course PFL President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo, will be the one who will award the contract. So, Tyron, can you tell me who has the celebrity panel decided is going to be worthy of this PFL contract tonight?
I mean, this is a hard one. We're splitting hairs on this one. And, you know, both of these guys fought very, very hard. I really want to put it off on my man Ray Lewis, but I got to say Bruce, to be honest. You know what I mean? He landed the finish. They both were phenomenal fighters, but he took the risk and he landed the finish strike. So if it's for me, these guys got to stand out. Of the four fighters, he was one of the two that got to finish.
Right, okay. So the celebrity panel has made their decision. Brucey Soto is their answer. Now let's find out what the fans. He only needs one more vote to be able to take home this PFL contract. And we will now reveal the fan vote. And the fan vote is Brucey Soto.
Brucey Soto.
Welcome to the PFL, Brucey Soto.
How about it? Celebration brought to you by Next Level. Brucey Soto journeys all the way from Brazil. That's worth the travel, a PFL contract with the flying knee and the left hands to follow it up. Kenny Florian.
Absolutely, man. And he said, listen, I can make the proper adjustments. And man, did he do it at the right time, just as round one was ending. And he did it with that flying knee. Unbelievable.
You know what? But wait, there's more Brucey Soto. Now it's time to award the $5,000 bonus for the Columbia Care move of the night. And tonight's 5K goes to that man right there. That's the move of the night. How about it? Right hand.
Dude, those
right
follow-up uppercuts, my goodness. Those are just as nasty.
He pulled off the most impressive move of the night, and he takes home a contract and $5,000. And I hope you're translating this for Brucey Soto. Let him know he just got a $5 grand Love it. Columbia Care providing the move of the night. Unbelievable night here. I'm Sean O'Connell for Ian Parker and Kenny Florian and Julie Stewart-Binks and our celebrity panelists and everyone here at the PFL. Thank you for tuning in.
Media scene since the loss to Francis Ngannou on January the 22nd, I believe it was. Different mic today. I'm probably going to hit this a couple times. I promised Frank that I wouldn't. I'm going to use my left hand. But if I'm being honest, I'm not much of a lefty, so it's going to take a little bit of, reconfiguring in my brain. We're going to be joined by our first guest in a matter of moments. I'm looking forward to that very much. Before I get to our first guest, I do want to let you know that today's program is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code THEMMAHour for a special offer when you sign up. Again, that's code THEMMAHour only at DraftKings. Can't wait for today's show. Nothing like a show where you have not one but two in-studio guests. Arguably the best fighter in the world, arguably, right? Number one, number two, number three, no lower than number three. And so that's a really big deal. I am fired up. I hope you are as well. I love Wednesdays. We answer your questions. We have a great time. There's birthdays being celebrated. There's a lot to get to. First off, let's go to our first guest of the day and say hello to a fighter who has been through a lot, who has done a lot, and who is competing this Saturday at the event at the Apex in Las Vegas. She is Jessica Rose Clark, sporting some fantastic hair on this Wednesday morning. Hello, Jess. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yes, long time no speak. It has been a while.
It has been a long time.
It really has.
It's been a very long time.
And I trust that you're doing well, and there's a lot to talk to you about. Could I ask, what's the inspiration behind this particular hairdo?
Well, I feel like because Margot Robbie played Harley Quinn and she's Australian, and I also have the heart tattoo on my face, I get likened to Harley Quinn a lot. So I went, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go for it. It's she was my inspiration.
Okay.
I don't know how long it's going to stick for, but it's definitely here for this weekend.
So what is that? Purple and red?
Pink and blue.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, close.
Yes,
So close.
I'm colorblind. Also, would it be embarrassing if I admitted that I have no idea who Harley Quinn is?
No, that's
Okay.
fine. She was the Joker's girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
She was the Joker's girlfriend, and then she was played by Margot Robbie, who's an Australian actress
I
in
know
the
that.
Suicide Squad movies.
Yes, yes. Wait, the Joker's girlfriend's in the Suicide Squad?
Yeah, she's Harley Quinn.
Wait, the Joker's in the Suicide
That's
Squad?
the Joker's girlfriend.
What the hell?
Both movies.
Really? I didn't know it had anything to
Yeah.
do with Batman Suicide Squad. That's the movie with John Cena. That's all I know.
Yeah. And
Oh.
Harley Quinn's in it. Like, I think she might be the only woman in it.
Wow. Okay, so this is who you're paying homage to.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. You know what? When I saw it, I thought of that, and I just wanted to confirm that it was Harley Quinn that you were paying. I'm just
You
joking.
just said you didn't know.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to save and be cool here. I have no idea who you're talking about. It sounds great, though. It sounds great. So you're back this weekend. Luckily, a little momentum for you because the last couple years have been tough. This must feel nice,
Yeah.
like a weight lifted off your shoulders that you could come back in a normal amount of time, right? As opposed to a year off in between fights like the last two fights.
Steel Rose book?
Honestly, that's been my whole thought this week.
today.
Since I got here, I was like, oh my god, I was just here. I was here 4 months ago. I was here in October, so I only had 3 months between that and now, and it doesn't even feel real because I think since 2018 I've fought once a year or once every year and a half, and like between injuries and it's just been frustrating. So I'm super happy to be consistent this time, and I hope that I can continue this for the rest of the year.
I was reading an article about you from 2020. So when you came off the first year layoff, right? 2019, 2020 was almost a year in between fights. You returned in September, and you were talking about how like you legitimately didn't like MMA anymore. You didn't like training. You were dreading it. You weren't happy in the sport. Why? What didn't you like about it? Why was it not feeling fun anymore?
Honestly, you know, I'd lost to Jessica I, and then got badly injured as I was prepping for my next fight and was off for a year, and then fought Penny Kainzad, who I'd already lost to back in Invicta. And it was just that, you know, I'd moved from Vegas to California. I'd left my gym, like I was starting with a new team. I was still I was still transitioning between Vegas and Northern California. There was just a lot going on, and I was instead of letting MMA be my escape and training be my escape, which it always has been, I was letting my personal life affect what I was doing, you know, because I was so unhappy in my personal life. I was unhappy with everything, and I really shouldn't have taken the Penny Kainzad fight. Like, I was coming back way too early off surgery. I was starting with off injury, sorry, because I didn't have surgery. I was coming back too early off injury. There was a lot of things I wasn't able to do in camp. It was my first fight back at 135 pounds after being at 125 for the previous 3 or 4. It was just a lot, and I really should have paid attention to all the signs, because there was so many things leading up to that fight that were like, hey, this isn't the right move. Even my coach Kirian was like, this isn't the right move, but because I wasn't 100% with him yet, I was still splitting my time between Extreme Couture and CSA in California. He didn't feel like he had the ability to say, like, this isn't what we should be doing right now. And so it was just, in hindsight, like, one, I'm really grateful that everything happened that way, because it made me realize that I needed to refocus what I was doing. Because after I lost to Penny the second time, like, I got to Moscow, I had food poisoning all fight week, I weighed in underweight, like, I was sick, I was still throwing up after my weigh-in. Like, it was just, there was no excuses. Like, she's been better than me twice in 2 fights now, but there were a lot of external things that were going on, and I considered retiring after that fight, because I was just so unhappy. I was like, why am I doing this if I can't even win a fight? Like, I keep losing. I've lost 2. Like, I've lost 2 in a row before, but, you know, everything's super dramatic when you're in the middle of it. But now looking back, like, that was 2.5 years ago-ish. I'm very grateful that everything happened the way it did, because it made me realize that I needed to refocus. I needed to kind of reconfigure my personal life and how I was handling external stress. Instead of, I was just kind of trying to sweep it under the rug and hope that I could outwork the way I was feeling, and it wasn't the case. It all came out when it came down to fight time. Then I had the extra stress and the pressure and being in a foreign country, and yeah, it was a lot.
How close were you to actually walking away?
Runners are rampant nowadays.
No, I mean, like, I took a decent amount of time off, and when COVID happened and all the gyms shut down, we were running online classes, and I was the only one. Well, there was me and one other fighter that were allowed in the gym, and I would demonstrate all the online classes. And so then I think just being able to have that time by myself, just working out, being in the gym, it was usually just myself and Coach Kirian in the gym those times. That really helped me realize, like, you know, if I walked away, I would miss this, you know. And then when I signed the fight for Sarah Alpa, that was kind of my make or break fight. Like, I made the decision when I signed that fight, you know, if I don't enjoy this camp and if I don't enjoy fighting again, that'll be it for me. And I think that in its own right was very freeing, because that fight, when I fought Sarah, like, that was one of the best nights of my life, you know. And then because I took that pressure off myself about winning or losing, it was purely just about enjoying what I do again. And I did. I loved, even though I blew my ACL out in that fight and had to take another year off, but that fight was my make or break, and it made me realize how much I actually really do love doing this. So I think if I hadn't have fought when I did, the story might have been a little bit different.
Did someone in particular help you get back on that track to loving it, or was it just like the time away, being alone, pandemic, being at the gym with the coach, like all those things added up? Or did you have to talk to like a sports, you know, psychologist and stuff like that to help you kind of regain your love for the sport?
Yeah, so I started, so after I lost to Penny Kainzad, Hans Molenkamp from Monster was in my corner for that fight, right? So he was with me all week and saw what a mess I was. So after that fight, he gifted me for that Christmas a couple of sessions with his therapist, with his psychologist, and she has changed my life. Like she really helped me recognize that. Like she helped me stop focusing on wins and losses, you know, because we as fighters, we put so much stock in whether we win or lose. Like that's our sole identity. Are we winners or are we losers? You know, because it's hard to be in a competitive sport like this where it's one-on-one and not feel like you're a loser if you lose a fight. Like it's very hard to separate yourself from the decision. So my therapist, Kristen, she really, really helped me kind of, I guess, peel back all the layers and remember why I started doing this in the first place. Remember all the things that I love about the sport, that I love about competing, and stop focusing so much on the outcome. So she was super integral. And then I also had Hans, you know, like I talk to him almost every day. He's the one who helped me who helped me go sober. Like he's the one who helped me through my sobriety when I first stopped drinking. He's the one who helped me when I was thinking about retiring. And between him and Coach Kirian, those two were super integral. And then even when the COVID stuff happened and I was the one in the gym demonstrating the classes, like just being able to talk to Kirian every day and having him, he really created a safe space for me, you know, because I've had coaches in the past who, like, if I was winning, I got all the attention. If I was losing, like, I was on the back burner, you know? And with Kirian, he just wants to see me win as a human being. It has nothing to do with my athletic career. And it's taken me a long time to trust him and to believe that that's the case. But once I started to realize that through that shelter-in-place period, I think that also let me let go of a lot of hurt that I was carrying and a lot of trauma from previous coaches, previous gyms, all that sort of thing. So my therapist, Hans, and Kirian were probably the three that got me to where I'm at right now.
How long have you been sober for?
It'd be 4 years in July.
Okay, well done.
I don't even want to think about what would have happened.
That's amazing. Okay, so things are coming together. You come back, you win 2 Septembers ago, September of 2020, right? As you mentioned, feel good, weight lifted, and then you tear your ACL.
Yep.
How tough was that mentally?
Yeah, that sucked, you know, but imagined he'd do that. I think I kept a pretty positive attitude about it through the whole thing, you know. I had a couple of days where I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe this happened again, like I'm injured again, I'm on the shelf again, you know, but Kirian really made me see that if I was going to get injured, like that was the best possible situation to get injured in. Like I was coming off a big fight, like a good fight. I had a lot of hype behind me. Like people always remember your last fight, right? So to come off that win, that finish of Sarah Alpha, and then be on the shelf for a year, I really don't feel like I lost any momentum. And I was very public about my recovery and everything as well. So I think even just being very open about where I was at with my recovery also kept me accountable. Like I didn't give myself the option to kind of hide away and be upset and be depressed and be down about it. Like I think 2 days after my surgery, I went back to the gym and just did one-legged rowing on the rowing machine, you know, like I made sure I was in the gym every single day doing what I could do. And honestly, you know, when I started camp for Jocelyn Edwards, like I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified of wrestling. So I threw myself into wrestling because I think, like, I'm pretty sure I know where my ACL tore in that fight with Sarah, and it was in the wrestling moments, you know. So then that had me terrified of wrestling, and I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna throw myself head on into this thing that I'm so scared of doing because I was so afraid of getting re-injured. And I just, you know, I had such a good support system that even on the days where I was super down, like they didn't let me be down for very long. I was very lucky to be in the place that I'm at.
Not only did you throw yourself into wrestling, you went to Mr. Wrestler himself. You went to DC, right? Weren't you with DC at AK? So how do you split your time? Do you still do that, or do you not go to AK anymore?
I don't go to AKA. I go to DC's Wrestling Academy.
You actually go to DC's Wrestling Academy. Wow. With the kids? With the high school kids?
Yeah, with the high school kids.
That's amazing.
Man, some of those little girls beat the hell out of me.
Wow.
Like, my first day back after that, because I wrestled there for this camp as well. DC was traveling a lot, so I wrestled a lot with Deron Wynn. He would come in early because I can only train at one specific time based on my schedule because it's an hour drive for me, and I drive. Some days I drive 5 hours between different training sessions, so my schedule is very tight. Like I don't have a lot of leeway or leniency. So I mostly wrestled with Deron Wynn this camp, and he has been an amazing coach. But yeah, the first day I went back after the Jocelyn fight, it was like it was one of the high school practices, and there's a bunch of these little girls like 115, 120 pounds. They're like 14 years old, 15 years old, and I was like, whatever, I'm a grown woman, you know. And DC made me wrestle with them, and I got shit beaten out of me.
Wow.
And I was like, how are these little girls holding me down? Like I couldn't. It completely destroyed my ego, and I was like, okay, I need to come back to wrestling. I need to do this more.
Deron in your corner?
No.
Okay. Okay. You said you're a grown woman. I believe if you ask Sean O'Malley, you're a mature woman.
I am a mature
You're
apparently, which I've never been
Right.
told that before, and I'm not entirely sure how to take that.
He
But-
seems to have a great affinity for you. In fact, he said that the heart tattoo comes from you.
We became friends after, because we had the same management for a while, and so we became friends in Vegas. I think after he won on Contenders, and then he was in town. I got introduced, and I showed him around Vegas a little bit. And then like 2 weeks later, I see him and he's got a face tattoo, and I was like, that has to be because of me. Like, there's no way that he hangs out with me and then goes and gets a face tattoo and then doesn't admit that it's about me. But that was the first time that he's admitted that it was because of me. And I'm like, which I'm all for. Like, it looks great on him, but I'm like, just be honest about it.
Yeah.
Let me be the inspiration.
Give credit where it's due. By the way, how many tattoos do you have?
I think around 100 now.
100. Wow.
Yeah.
First one, how old were you?
18. It was just after my 18th birthday. You have to be 18 in Australia. I don't know if you have to do that here, but Mum took me to get it for my 18th birthday, and she chose it, and she was supposed to get the same thing, and she didn't get it, and now I have this gecko on my hip that hurt so much, and it looks terrible, but I don't ever want to cover it up because that's what my mum gave me for my 18th birthday, you know?
And why that? What was the significance?
No idea. You can ask her if you ever meet her. She probably doesn't know either.
And how long after the first do you get the second?
Like a year and a bit.
Okay.
I went through this spate between, like, most of the ones I have now, I got once I moved to the US. So it's only been in the last like 5 or 6 years that all these have happened. I think when I first moved out here, I might have had 10.
Okay, wow.
And then like I had my face and my hands done already, but my legs, my arms, I didn't have any of that. And then I one of my closest friends is actually my tattooist here in Vegas, and so I would just get bored and I would text her and I'd be like, hey, what are you doing? And she'd be like, come in, and then I'd go in and get something random. Almost none of them are plain.
Okay. Do the ones on the face mean anything?
So this one's a broken heart. Initially it was a broken heart because my nickname is the Heartbreaker. And my ex actually got one on his face and then convinced me, and so then I got it.
What you did last time.
And then I got it colored in purple when I moved out to the US. Like, I left him and everything, then kind of wanted to change it a little bit. And then the anchor, I'd always heard this story about because American traditional tattooing comes from the Navy.
Drug runners are rampant
Right,
nowadays.
so I'd always heard this story about guys in the Navy getting an anchor tattooed on them that was supposed to, I think it was usually on the hand, but it was supposed to signify that you were the captain, you were in charge. So I also like to be symmetrical. I couldn't have one and not have the other, but I chose the anchor for that reason.
And why is your nickname the Heartbreaker?
So when I had my first MMA fight, my coach, Igor Breakenback back in Sydney, when we went to weigh-ins, I was super nice to my opponent. Like, I'm always nice to everyone. I don't hate the people that I'm fighting. Without them, I don't get to do my job, you know? So I never have any animosity towards them, even if they don't like me. So I was super nice to my opponent, and then I finished her in the fight the next night. And then my coach was like, oh, I'm going to call you the Heartbreaker because he's like, you're friends with all these girls, and then you beat the hell out of them and you break their hearts. So has nothing to do with my romantic life, which everyone seems to think it is. I'm like, that's a really weird Like, why would I make my nickname about my romantic life? But yeah, but that's where it came from.
It's like the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah.
I thought maybe.
Yeah, and it would have, and like I would have taken that one if it wasn't already taken.
Right. Or you.
Because HBK sounds way better.
Yes, you could. Would you come out to his music? Would you ever do that or no? Have you ever heard his song?
I actually don't know what his music is.
Oh, you don't know his music? I mean, that's more shocking than me not knowing who Harley Quinn is, if I'm being honest. They say I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I know the girls. It's more about a guy, so it doesn't matter. He's just a sexy boy.
Maybe that could be the next one.
Yeah.
But in Harley Quinn for this one, maybe changing the song is the
Let me
next
tell you something. If you walk out to Heartbreak Kid and wear, well, you can't really wear his outfit because of the whole, Venom, but it would. I think a lot of fans would dig it. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Hey, let's say when Nick Maynard finally puts me on a pay-per-view,
Yeah, what the
I will
hell?
walk out to the Heartbreak Kid.
Why don't they? Okay, is that a promise?
Yeah, promise.
Okay. Now, why isn't he putting you on pay-per-view?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any reason. I just think there haven't been any fights on pay-per-views yet.
Fine. If you walk out to the Heartbreak Kid music on pay-per-view, you will be immortalized on this wall. We will put your picture up on this wall for life.
Deal.
That's the deal,
Done.
okay? Immortalized forever. This is bigger than the UFC Hall of Fame, this wall. I just want to let you know. This is a great honor.
No, I believe it.
Okay, I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I believe it. Also, let me say something. So I heard in your intro that people were saying that you've gotten away from MMA and kind of talking trash on you for that bit. I just want to say I was most excited about being on your show.
Oh.
Again, and talking to you for the first time. So
thank you.
I personally, as a UFC fighter, don't think that don't feel like you've removed yourself. I feel like you've kind of put yourself at this level where now it's really exciting to be on your show.
Wow, can I just thank you for that. You're actually going to get immortalized just for saying that. You don't even have to walk out to the song. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. By the way, oldest of 9 children, yes?
Oldest of 8 by blood, 17 collectively.
17?
Yeah, because I have a few like half brothers and sisters who each have other brothers and sisters,
Oh my
so
God.
there's eight of us by blood.
You must be the inspector. Ernst
Wow.
told me
Okay.
about.
And your first entry into school was 5th grade. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did homeschool before that.
What were you doing before that? Just staying at home?
Homeschool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we did. I did a lot of my own education. Honestly, like my grandma taught me to read, and then we were with like this like a Christian homeschooling company, and they would send workbooks and everything, and give you like you have to do pages 7 to 10 today of the math book and whatever. They would give you instructions. And my mom, because there were so many kids, my mom was often with the other kids, like they were the younger babies, right? So a lot of my schooling I did on my own through that. And then when I finally moved in with my grandma, she worked full time and her husband worked full time, so then I got sent to school.
Was that a weird transition for you? Now you're around other kids all
So
the time?
weird, because I honestly, like, how I grew up, we grew up on a bunch of different communes, and it was always adults. So I'd been around adults. Like, I didn't know how to talk to kids my own age. Like, I was a loser in school. In primary school, I was such a loser because I had no idea how to interact with people my own age, So I just, I kind of got by on being smart and being really good at sports. And then I would always end up in the popular group, but like when we would do that, because every group in school would be like, okay, we're the Spice Girls, and each one would be a certain Spice Girl. I was always the shittiest one. Like I was in the popular group, but then I would always be like Ginger Spice, I would always be the worst one.
I was gonna say Sporty Spice, because you said you were good at
Yeah,
sport.
no, I was never Sporty Spice.
Okay.
No. It was like pity inclusion. Like I was included because I was,
Did they call you Jessica Rose, like your friends, or do they just call you Jessica?
My friends will call me Jessie because I prefer Jessie.
Okay.
I like Jessie, Jessica, or Jessica Rose. I don't mind. I really hate being called Jess, though.
Did I say Jess at the beginning of this interview? I think I did.
Yeah, but it's cool. I almost said something and I was like,
why did you say something? You know what?
It doesn't matter.
I shouldn't have said that. I don't even know why I said that. It was too like.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was too. I mean, last time we spoke was like 5 years ago. I don't have the right to say Jess right off the bat. You got to kind of ease your way.
No, it's fine. Jessie is cool. There's also at my gym. There's a ton of Jessicas.
Okay.
So Jessie keeps me kind of like I don't get lost in the mix,
Outside. Okay, I get it. It makes you unique. Well, I apologize for that. I'm sorry. So we're back this Saturday.
Are these
You know, you're
remnants
looking to
of
build
the
some
giant
momentum.
robots?
You win this fight. I know you were a little bit. Is it fair to say a little
Is he sure
disappointed?
about that?
Like I felt after your last fight, you're like, I got the win, but that wasn't like what I wanted. You know, you just wanted to get back. So now you're looking to make a statement. We want to be a little more aggressive, a little more impactful on Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, a little more my style, you know, because the thing that's like tripped me out the most since the last fight is I get so many hate messages and comments going, "Oh, are you even going to throw a strike this time?" And I'm like, I've had 22 fights and I wrestled one time, like literally one time I wrestled, and out of the other 21 were all striking. I'm like, you're gonna. Now I'm like, I'm put in this box because people only remember your last fight, which is why I said it was good that I got injured off the Sarah Alpar fight, right? So I'm like, that's an okay one to be remembered by. But this, you know, that last fight was the right plan for that opponent. Like, we knew that Jocelyn Edwards was a wild striker. We knew she had power, you know? Like, there was, like, our goal is always to win by someone's B game, you know? So, like, her B game was her wrestling. So that was the smartest thing I could do for that particular opponent. Plus, she hit me so hard at the beginning, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that again. Like, I don't want to get hit like that again, you know?
I don't blame you.
This next opponent, you know, her A game is her grappling, which means that I'm almost forced to be a striker again, which was the same with Sarah Alpha. Her A game was her grappling, you know. So it's just really sticking to the game plan and figuring out everyone's B game and then capitalizing on that. So I think this fight is going to be a lot more entertaining than what the last one was.
And then afterwards, we going home. I feel like home is calling you. You're talking a lot about representing Australia, going back to your Australian roots, being a proud Aussie. I feel like home is calling your name.
Yeah, I've definitely been getting pretty homesick lately. You know, like I had my mom. She sent me a bunch of photos of when I was growing up, you know, and of all the kids and stuff like that. And I lost it. I had like a full breakdown. I'm like, man, I'm so homesick, you know. I am gonna have to go home and do my visa soon anyway, so I'm just hoping that happens sometime in the next couple of months, because I really want to go see my family. Like, I haven't seen my mom in 3 years, and I haven't seen my brothers and sisters in almost 5.
Wow.
So I think it's getting time for me to go home for a little bit. Definitely not permanently, but you know, maybe for a week or two, just go see everyone until I get sick of everyone again and want to come home, want to come back. Because the US really is my home, you know, like, I've been here 6 years, my dogs are here, I'm settled here, like, my chosen family are all here. But I do need to go back and see my family soon.
Well, I hope you get a chance to do that. I would love to have you on again, not, 5 years from now, more often.
Yeah.
It was great. I appreciate your time, and I wish you the best this Saturday. Jessica Rose Clark, a.k.a. Miss Jessie Jess, going up against Stephanie Egger, not Jess Clark or Jess Rose Clark. Get
or
it right.
Jess,
or
as
Jess
Sugar Sean likes to call
Okay,
me.
yeah,
It's Jess.
that's bizarre. I'm also going to watch the movie that you mentioned, Suicide Squad. It sounds like a great film.
Suicide Squad.
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
I heard John Cena was in it. That's all I really know. But
John Cena's in the second one.
Okay.
And then the first one has well, they both have Margot Robbie, and then they both have Jai Courtney, who's another Australian actor. So you gotta go watch. He's in the full first movie, and then he dies in the second.
I know of Margot from, I think, Wolf of Wall Street, right? She was in that.
Yes.
Yeah, she was tremendous. Yes.
Yes.
Got away from the Australian accent in that one, which I think speaks to her acting skills. Alas, we can talk about that at a different time. I think the hair is great, and I can't wait for the walkout, the HBK walkout, the next fight, pay-per-view. I'll talk to Nick about that. Immortalized on the wall. All right. Thank you. Good luck to you, Jessica. I appreciate it.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, there she is. Miss Jessica Rose Clark, a.k.a. Miss Jessie Jess, a.k.a. not Jess, a.k.a. not Jess. That's one of the fights this weekend. I'm gonna hit that. I'm sorry. I mean, Frank's gonna kill me. I know. Well, because there's no need to even touch this, but that's one of the fights this weekend. The event headlined by Jamal Hill against Johnny Walker, Kyle Dawkins against Jimmy Pickett, Parker Porter, who has one of the all-time best names in the history of mixed martial arts. Also on the card, Jim Miller, the legend. Joaquin Buckley against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. That should be a fun one. The Jessica Rose Clark against Stephanie Egger fight is on the prelims. Mowgli Benitez also on the prelims. Mario Bautista, Chaz Skelly on the prelims as well. So some familiar names there. And there's a bunch of MMA on this weekend. Of course, as I said at the top, Bellator is returning. They've got a card headlined by Naaman Gracie and Logan Storley, who's a big-time prospect at 170 pounds, 12-1. Georgi Karakhanian on the card as well. So a lot to watch this weekend. Alas, let's move along now to our next guest. Excited to talk to him. Wanted to connect with him, of course, since the last time we saw him, which wasn't that long ago. It was at UFC 270. He had the highly anticipated fight against Francis Ngannou. Unfortunately, that night it didn't go his way, but what a fight it was. And what drama, right? Towards the very end. It was incredible stuff. And so without further ado, let us say hello to the French Prince himself, Bon Gamin, Cyril Gane. There he is, my friend. Cyril, ça va?
Ça va et toi? I love this nickname.
Hey, I'm sticking with it. Even though you don't want it, I'm going to stick with it. You're still the. I don't care what happened in January. You're still the French Prince to me, okay?
Okay, thank you, my man. Thank you for your word.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. I know after a loss, sometimes you don't want to talk about it. So I appreciate your time very much. How are you digesting the fight that happened a couple of weeks ago? How are you feeling about it?
You see, I was a little bit sad just a few hours after the fight, but at the same night when I went to the club, we went out with that. Yeah, exactly, and it was finished. So yes, today I'm really cool. I'm really comfortable with this situation, with this result, and I think we did a great fight. We did a great fight, so that's why I'm still happy.
So just a couple hours and that was it? Like there was no morning period, nothing. Even when you got back home?
No. You see, it's just because I saw that I'm a competitor. So before the defeat, I was not sure, but now I'm sure I'm a competitor. So that's why when the fight finished, I was a little bit sad for the result because we was really close to the win. So that's why I was a little bit sad. But after a few hours, after to talk with my friends, my family, and so yeah, it was good. So today, no, I'm good. I'm really good. Everything mine.
I'm very happy to hear that. But could I ask, you said before the loss you weren't sure if you were a competitor. Now you know you're a competitor. What do you mean by that?
You see, I mean, I never lose before.
Yeah.
I never had this feeling. So that's why every time on the media, I say yes. I'm not afraid about the defeat. I was sure, and this is sure. I'm not afraid about that. That's sure. But I don't know what is the feeling exactly. So now I know. I don't knew that. So now I know that just that.
Is there?
And you see, that's why I have to have my revenge, because I'm a competitor. It's not about the bonus of the belt or anything. It's just because I'm a competitor, and Francis is the first guy against who I lose. So that's why.
Is it kind of nice to have the zero go away, if only because now people don't ask you anymore about being undefeated? You don't have to worry about that. It takes a weight lifted, no?
No, yeah, of course. But my answer before this fight was no. I don't give a no matter for the 10-0. I don't give.
Yeah, okay.
I don't really give about that. That's really not a good for me.
Have you rewatched the fight?
Yes, yesterday night.
Wow, yesterday. Okay, so you waited a few weeks.
Yeah, no, I waiting just because I don't find the good timing. So just that, because I prefer to. I prefer to play a video game, so that's why. And yesterday, we saw the match Paris Saint-Germain against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And I was with my friend, a group of my friends in my home, and after the match, we decided to see the fight together, to watch the fight together. So it was the first time.
What do you think? What do you think of the match, by the way? You were rooting for Madrid, right? I would imagine.
I know it's a joke, and I'm really happy to the result, but
yeah,
it was really close to do something bad because we did a really great game, and no goal. So this is unbelievable. So yes, thank you, Kadan.
So when you watch the fight, what do you think? Like, what do you walk away with? What are your thoughts after you watched it?
No, the point is I was lucid, so I remember all of this action of the fight. So I was lucid, but I did some mistake, and I recognize the mistake. So like I give him my legs too easy to consist with the foot on his head. He catch me like that, and after that he understand this is a good plan for him. So no, unfortunately, I think after the fight, I was okay. If I really wanted to win this fight, the good plan. Sorry for my English.
No problem, no problem.
The good plan for winning this fight was just to do the bon gamin, like bon gamin do everything, like touch and never be touched. No legs, nothing like that. No to go hard, no to go. And if I did that, yes, I think the belt was on my own, but that's okay.
So you would agree you won the first 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Do you remember, you said you were lucid, you remember everything. Do you remember what you're thinking 3rd round, 4th round? Are you thinking this fight is, slipping away from me? Or even at the end, did you still think that you had won, that you had done enough considering how the beginning of the fight went?
The mission, because you see, I was the contender, so when you want to beat the champion, you must beat the champion. When it's too tight like that, it's not a good plan. So that's why with my coach, we decided to finish the fight before the end. That's why I did this takedown. I did really well. And after I did this choice to go to the handcuff. And unfortunately, yes, I did some mistake in my technique. But
so small, right? A lot of people talking about that like it was the biggest mistake. I mean, of course you went for it. If you would have pulled it off, you'd be a hero, right? People would be talking about that forever. Do you regret going for that heel hook?
No, because I was really sure. You see, this technique for me, I can do that on every partner I had in my gym. High level wrestling, high level DGG, and I can do it. I'm really comfortable on this technique. So that's why I decided to do that, because I know the position was really good for me to go on this technique. I was really good. I was sure to finish the fight.
Thanks, by the way.
So that's why I'm
need to return to the lab right away?
No regret. Seriously, just.
The communication device is back up and running.
The robot.
I heard a loud noise coming from the heart of Skeptrum, and a huge looming shadow just flew toward it, too. Oh no, failed again. Only I had more time, and of course more budget.
Someone has invaded. So what if something happens to the heart? If it does, all of Argentine...
If only I had more time, and of course more budget.
Get you!
was a little bit tired, so that's why I don't do exactly the good thing, but it's not, man. So no, that's okay.
You go 5 rounds. You say you were a little bit tired. Towards the end of the fight, how much did cardio affect your performance to go, 25
Not
minutes?
exactly the cardio, it's more like energy. More like you see with Francis, and that's why he was tired too, because at the first round he decided to, that's not exactly my game, to use a lot of power on the clinch, like every time he was in contraction, like boom, 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 every time we were on the clinch. So if I don't want to accept that, I must to keep his power away. So that's why I use a little bit my energy like that. But it's not exactly about the cardio. And when you have the guy like Francis on the field, if you want to go away, if you want to stand up, that's not a good plan to push the guy the most of
Yeah.
I don't want to do that with Francis Ngannou. So I were in the good position to go stand up. And that's why the regret is more like the referee at the 5th round. The referee, for me, he take his time to stand up the fight a little bit.
Okay.
Because I connect the eye with the referee like, stand up. So that's why this is a little bit this regret, but he did very well. That's why congratulations to Francis, because I think I was better on my striking. I was better on the ground game too, because you can see he catch me and keep me like that. It was not possible to him to do some ground and pound or to do some submission, because my technique is good, you see. And yes, it was about the power, more the power, and the pen. So we use the power for the wrestling. Unfortunately, it's about maybe 2 seconds when you catch me on my rib, just behind my rib. After that, it's more complicated to go out with the power of Francis. That's why I go down. And after that, leave his body on me. He don't do too much. And that's why this is a respect for him and his team, because he don't do too much, but he won the fight. You see? So that's why...
Did his wrestling surprise you?
No.
No.
No. He was really prepared about that. Because we knew already, we have a good level in this fight. And we knew that. And Colonel Lopez told me a lot of times. I think maybe it's that thing, he repeat again and again before the fight. A day, a week before the fight, we're gonna go. I think we want to do that. Very soon, man. Stay focused on that, really, because you have a good level striking, and I'm sure about that. Seriously, he did a big focus on that, really.
There was a lot of talk about you guys, the time that you spent in the gym together and whatnot. I know some of it was overblown that you weren't together all that much, but when you were in there with him, was this familiar? Was he familiar, or was he a much different fighter than the one that you worked with?
No, not different.
Not different.
Not different, you see. The power, when he was in the clinch, he did exactly the same thing. Too much power, just the power like that. And I remember the feeling, and he did take down. You see, when you have my chest, he do this like the judo, and he did exactly the same thing when we saw the
Wow.
So when I saw the fight, I remember that yesterday, and yeah, so I did some mistake. This is not bad.
All kinds of rumors on the day of the fight about his injured knee. Did they get to you, those rumors? Did you hear about it at all?
No. And even if you see, sometimes it's just a strategy to make the guy focus on the leg, but he had nothing. Maybe it was a strategy to focus me on the leg, maybe to provoke me to land some high kick maybe and to catch my legs. We never know. You never know. But no focus on that.
Do you remember what you thought when you saw him wearing the 2 knee braces?
Repeat the question.
When he came out and he was wearing 2 knee braces, that's not common for him. Do you remember thinking something like, oh, something's up here, maybe I should attack the knees more, should I attack the legs more, there's something going on here? You're not even thinking, no.
No.
You can't, you've got too much on your mind, you're fighting Francis Ngannou. Now that the whole experience came and went, obviously, as you know, there was a lot of drama going into this fight with Fernand and him and the UFC and all that stuff. How was the week for you in California, that whole fight week? Was it good? Was
Beautiful.
it no problems?
Yeah. No problem. It was really perfect.
It wasn't too much drama for you? I mean, you're a very chill guy. You're a very relaxed guy.
No, anyway, this is a game. This is a game. I had my friend Fernando Lopez, my coach, just close to me, and it was just a game for him. It was just a game to make some sauce, some piment sauce on the fight. That's it. But I got my friend close to me, and we was we enjoy ourselves like every time we go on the fight week. Like for me, it's like a holiday. Seriously, and the weather was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the playa, just the day before the fight, we did some fun in the sea. That's really crazy in January.
Yeah. It's a good life over there.
No, it was really good, really nice.
The press conference, it wasn't, you didn't feel like, oh, this is getting a little, there's the French journalists, they're like arguing with him and all this stuff. It was quite the scene.
No, it was cool. Everything was cool. Like maybe the mistake is just I don't like to do some to have some sauce on the fight. But no, it was cool. It was cool. My English was cool. My English.
Yeah.
That was correct. No, it was really cool.
Did you say anything to him after the fight?
Yeah,
did you say anything to Francis after the fight?
After the fight, no, but him say I knew it was gonna be the first fight. I don't remember, like, this is something about the respect. You had the respect for me, like, what is the word exactly? I knew already it's gonna be a first fight, or maybe you are warriors or something like that, like something.
Yeah.
Respect. Yeah.
And you didn't say anything?
No. On the social media?
No, to him. In the cage, in the back, something like that.
Oh, in the cage, in the back? No. We crossed in the hotel because we go out to the party.
Yeah.
And that's it. No. Anyway, just
respect. So there, on your end, there's no beef, there's no issues. It's always been respect.
All about respect. You see, we did the war. It was a beautiful war. He won, I lose. Anyway, we did a great fight. The fan was really happy about this show.
Yeah.
In my country, the people are really proud of me. You did something big. You see, Francis is not an easy fighter. He's a tough fighter. So congratulations, you did well. You did better than a lot of fighters. So after just three years in the game, so my man.
Yeah.
Keep your hand up, that's it. So every people are really kind.
I noted after the fight, we've seen a lot of great young fighters lose in their first UFC title fight, and then they come back and they win. George St. Pierre comes to mind. Rose Namajunas comes to mind. Francis comes to mind as well. They stump and they come back. Is that the mindset you have? All right, I dropped the first one. I'm gonna win a couple here. I'll be right back, fix the mistakes, and I'll be champion eventually.
I'll be right back, and eventually one day I will be a champion. This is a great thing for a fighter in this career, of course. But I'm not focused on that. Now I just want to improve some experience of the title shot and the experience of this fight with a tough guy like Francis. And I want to improve. I want to I want to go back to the gym and to learn the new thing.
It feels to me like there are some fighters who are obsessed with the idea of being a champion, of getting that belt. It drives them. For you, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like if you never win the belt, you won't care. Like, it will be a nice thing, but this is not something that keeps you up at night. You don't dream about being a champion, right?
Never.
That's fascinating.
Never because this is just I'm not sure of the word, the consequence. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's just the consequence if you win. But you must be focused on your fight, on your opponent. This is a mission to win the fight. That's why my mission now, that's why I asked the revenge against Francis, because I just want to have the green. after the fight, that's it. And after, yes, you have the bad, yes, you have maybe something good, and but yes, you see, I just started this game, and that's why maybe I'm never dreaming about that. Maybe, no, you see, maybe because I'm just unhappy.
You truly are a bon gamin. I mean, you actually are your nickname. Some people aren't exactly.
I don't know exactly if it's because I'm a bon gamin. I think just because, sorry for the word, but I don't give a shit about all
respect.
Too much thing.
I wish more people. I wish I was like you, if I'm being honest, not caring about all these things. What do you think happens with Francis now?
I don't know, but I hope the best for him. I saw maybe with Tyson Fury.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy. Well, he's gonna have knee surgery.
Yes, knee injury, but in the English boxing, in the boxing, you don't need too much your legs.
That's
right. Like you don't need to kick. You don't need about that. So some surgery, and after that you will be okay for that. But you must to train because it's a big challenge, more than me. The English, the boxing game is it's another game. It's a real big game, and no, this is. I hope for him this is gonna happen, if it's possible with the UFC. For the money, for the hype, best luck for him.
I know you say you don't care about the belt and all that, but will it bother you if you never get another chance, just as a competitor, to fight him to see if you can beat him? Is that gonna?
I'm okay already with the situation.
Yeah,
I got this on my mind. Maybe I never fight again Francis. But anyway, because I did a really great fight, and for me, I lost, but not too much. You see, I was better. It was just a little mistake. For me, I was better. You see, for me, I was better on the striking, on the grand game. But for me, I was better. I know this is a little bit strange to say that, but I was better on my wrestling too. If you compare the technique, if you compare something like that, the takedown he did and my takedown was a little bit different. So that's why I'm okay.
Okay.
If tomorrow I never fight again, Francis, I'm okay. I know I can compare me with him, and I know I'm okay. I'm a good fighter.
How soon would you like to return?
I don't want to be in the rush. I want to take my time because we was in the rush.
Yeah.
We was in the rush during 3 years. And so that's why I don't want to push too much. And I got some movie to do.
Really?
Yeah.
En français?
En français, yes.
Okay.
In Colombiana.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a great experience. It's around May or something like that. So that's why I can have a fight in June or July.
Okay.
Maybe August, maybe, you see. 6 months like I did with after Derek Lewis. I did 6 months.
Yeah.
August to January is about
6
months, something like that.
But it's going to be a while. So we're not going to see you till earliest, the end of summer, earliest.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe my coach is gonna say, I think it's good. It's better to go quickly. Like, okay, my man, let's go.
Before the movie.
Maybe before the movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we want to take a little bit. Sometimes to you see, we go out a little bit from the COVID. You see.
Yeah.
And we can live now a little bit like normally, and I can cross my partner in my gym again. Because I don't have a fight, and because we are not traumatized or afraid about COVID because I don't have a fight. So that's better to in my gym in the factory with my friend, but from there with the family. You see, I'm okay like that.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Position. I
It's
want
a good
to take
time.
my time to improve, to push a little bit my muscles and my weight. Yeah, you must have time to do that. So that's why we are not in the rush.
Okay. And I mean, I have to ask, but I feel like you're going to say you don't care. But like, is there someone in mind that you would want to fight upon returning? You don't care?
No.
Tai Tuivasa, what do you think?
Congratulations to this guy. It was a really interesting fight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I sleep in at this moment.
Yes.
Like every time. But I thought a fight after. And it was a really tough fight. Really tough fight. So congratulations to the Hercules also. It was a beautiful fight.
Yes.
Beautiful
Amazing.
Fight. And Tuivasa, yes, is an amazing fighter. He's an amazing fighter, and he can do something big in this division. You have something.
Can I just say, I wish everyone was like you, Cyril. How are you so chill? I mean, it's just, I can't get over it. You hold no ill will. You're not upset. You don't hold a grudge. You're taking your time. You're enjoying life. You're just chill. I mean,
Just happy.
what a life. This is the way to go.
This is a simple life.
Yeah.
Simple.
What's the secret? Were you always like this, or did you become like this?
No. I was born like that. I know I was born like that because I don't care about the life. Not the life, but about care with the problems. Eventually, some problems. No, I don't have a problem. Man.
Amazing.
Seriously, everything is beautiful for me. Look, that 3 years ago, my salary was not exactly my. So now I got some money in my pocket to take care of my family. But everything is good, my man. I got a good friend, a good wife, a beautiful children, with a love family, with the friend like my coach. My coach is my friend and my brother. Like everything is good. Everything is good.
His hair, I mean, the lines that he puts in his hair, it's a little comme ci, comme ça. No, don't you think? I mean,
You don't like this?
No, him.
The line of my
Fernand. What's up with
don't
those
like
lines?
that?
I mean,
You don't like the haircut?
I told him
This
about
is a
it.
little bit old guy. This is not not a new generation. This is
No,
old generation.
it's old generation. And I saw you at the Aries. I told him about it. I was like, Fred out, what's going
He's
on?
gonna text you a message.
He's gonna be mad at me. Yes, I know. But I saw you at the Aries event too. I'm sure you got a lot of love there a couple of weeks ago. It was right after your fight when you were there, right?
Repeat, sorry.
Aries, the event that he puts on. I saw that you were there. Ares. Yes. Ares.
Repeat again. Ares.
Ares. What does Ares mean?
The god of the war.
Oh, okay. Ares. Okay, my bad.
Greek, antique Greece. I don't know if you understand what I say.
Oh yeah, no, I understand.
La Grèce antique.
Okay. Oh yes, from ancient Greece.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the god of war.
And you got a lot of love there, right? When you were there, a lot of fans.
Yeah, in March. 10 March is gonna and
no, but they just had one, right? Right after your fight.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was a fire. It was a firework. It was beautiful, and it's gonna be better and better.
I love it.
Better and better. Trust me.
Well, I wish you the best, Cyril. It's such a pleasure talking to you, really. I wish, like I said, I'll say it again, I wish more people were like you and had your mindset, and you're just such a happy-go-lucky guy. And congrats on the movie, by the way. Can you tell, what is it called? Can you tell us, or is it... Any famous people in it? Zizou?
No.
No, Zizou. Oh, Medellin. Wow.
Medellin. So
like Entourage. You ever see Entourage?
Like this is Entourage.
The TV show.
Yes.
They have a thing, Medellin, in there.
Yeah, in Medellin, and this is a funny movie.
Oh, okay. And you speak in it?
I'm gonna speak in.
What's your role?
My role is like the bad guy. Bad guy with injury, and I like to fight.
First one for you?
Like that, the big one like that. Yes, this is the first one.
Wow, look at you. Well done. Bon courage. Bon courage. I love it.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you for coming on, my friend. All the best to you, and we'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
Thank you, my guy. See you soon.
All right, there he's the French Prince, Cyril Gane.
Bye.
The man. What a guy. How could you not love Cyril Gane? I mean, that guy. If I, you see, this is what I have to do this year. I have to put my.
Notice how he didn't hit his mic.
He didn't hit his mic, no. But I'm like, look at this. This is look at my hand. This is what we do when Izzy comes in studio. We change our microphone because the other one was. I mean, it's weird. I was having like a debate with New York Rick about Cyril Gane. I was like, Cyril Gane, best guy in the planet. I mean, like, best guy on earth is Cyril Gane. He was like, I don't really like him. I was like, New York Rick, what's your problem? I mean, why can't you like this guy? I'm just joking. He's gonna get so mad. He's probably gonna write me in 14 seconds and say something. But I mean, how could you not love that guy, Frank? I feel like you could learn a thing or two from Cyril Gane. I got a bigger water bottle because after Monday's show, I had such a bad migraine. This is the suffering that I put myself through for you people, for you ingrates. I put myself through this stress, through this suffering. I actually had to pull over on the side of the road and close my eyes for 15 minutes because I was in such pain. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna bring my daughter's Good Vibes Only, right there. See, Good Vibes Only. Hydrate, right over here. Take a break. These are all great lessons. Go outside. Another one. Don't worry, be happy. And that's it. There's a marshmallow doing a dab over here over some chocolate. I guess that's a s'mores. Anyway, I feel like there's a lot of lessons to be learned from this water bottle and also from Cyril Gane. Oh, here's New York Rick writing something. Here we go. He says week after week he has to sit through this. I don't know what he's talking about. I told him. Well, we have multiple. Also, I give her a smaller one at school because I don't want to. I mean, this weighs more than her. I don't want to weigh her down. But anyway, that was beautiful. That was great. I love that. What a great start to today's program. Of course, a reminder to all of you: the last style bender. You may have heard of him. The reigning defending UFC middleweight champion. His name is Israel Adesanya. He's going to be joining us in studio in maybe an hour and a half, something like that. We shall see. His manager, Tim Simpson, will also be joining us, manager to the likes of Israel Adesanya, Leon Edwards, Yuri Prochaska, and our next guest as well. He'll be joining us on the nose still to come. GCs. I mean, there's just a ton of shows, so sit back, relax, strap on your seatbelt. First hour in the books. It was fun, and we move along now to our next guest. I just said Tim Simpson, client. Yes, this is one of his clients. Merely a coincidence. She had a massive win on Saturday. She is going to forever be Roxanne Modafferi's final opponent. She beat Roxanne Modafferi in Roxy's final fight. She is the bad guy. She is King Casey O'Neill. That's O''N''E.
Ai început un podcast dimineața și îl vei termina în timpul plimbării de după amiază. Rămâi la curent chiar și când ești offline. Încearcă Union fără costuri. Genul ăla de bancă ce nu te lasă să dai. Ce te ajută să și ai bani în contra.
I-L-L. There she is. How are you?
Afternoon, Ariel.
Well, actually, for you, it's good morning. But I appreciate.
Well, yeah, but I checked to make sure I didn't say it wrong.
I appreciate that. Now, a bit of a hiccup. I was misspelling your name. I apologize publicly for that. On Twitter, I apologize on the show. Although I did notice when I couldn't really understand first initially what you were talking about, that for some reason I thought, I don't know why I was doing it with one L. You got rid of the apostrophe in your Twitter bio. What's up with that?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just easier to spell that way, and then everything that we put up has no apostrophe, so I just spell it without the apostrophe there.
So are you dropping the apostrophe?
The 2 L's is the most important part.
Well, in my defense, you're not even spelling your name correctly anymore.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It is what it is.
Okay, now so are you, like, should we not, like, right now we have an apostrophe on your lower third of the same business. It's a graphic. Is that like, would you like that to be gone for the next time?
You can use it. I think I use it on Instagram, but not on Twitter. I don't know. I have to get my shit together.
All right. I just wanted to clear that up. Congratulations on the win. Big time win for you. A lot to talk to you about. How are you feeling? I see the black eye. Obviously, you know, there were a couple knocks there. You got the better of her. You made some history as well as far as your output. You were tremendous. But how are you feeling? How's the body feeling after that fight?
I feel great. That's the most fun I've ever had in there. You know, I've always been telling my coaches that I wanted to get into a brawl, and they tell me that I'm crazy, and I just wanted to, you know, feel my own blood a little bit, and, you know, feel like it was getting messy in there, and just prove to everyone that I can throw down, and I think I did all of that. I think it was fun, not just for me, but for Roxy, the fans, and yeah, I loved it.
Was she tougher than you expected her to be?
I always knew Roxy was going to be tough, let's be honest. Everybody knows that. You know, nobody finishes Roxy. She's been in there with some great people, and she just never goes away. So I knew she was going to be tough, but she definitely improved a lot this camp. I think she did what she said she was going to do and went away and gave her all to the last training camp and came in the best version of Roxy we've ever seen. In my opinion, that was the best version of Roxy we've ever seen. So it was nice for me to be able to beat her at her best.
What about one of those judges scoring it for her? I mean, was that crazy or what?
I think they must have like got up to go to the bathroom or something, and then came back and they were like, "We need a winner." And I was like, "Oh, okay," and just gave it to her. But I don't know. I watched the fight back a couple of times now, and I see it 30-27 for myself. Although I am biased, but a lot of people told me the same. I don't see which round could have been scored for her, let alone 2 rounds.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So I think that guy should stick to being a rocket scientist.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think Aaron tweeted that out. Aaron Bronstetter. So when you're sitting there or standing there and they announce one of the scorecards for her, I know it's just like 10 seconds, but are you like, does your heart drop in that moment? Are you thinking they're gonna rob you? Because I scored it for you 30-27 as well. Were you freaking out?
Not really, but like I knew I won, so if they called it for her, I was gonna freak out for sure. But
Right.
when I heard that, I was just like, oh, maybe it's just like, you know, a retirement present or something.
Right. Okay. Now, when you look back at the week, I saw that you said something afterwards, how you kind of felt a little disrespected. It was all about her, all the attention. Was it a tough spot to be in? Was it uncomfortable because there was so much love and attention, spotlight put on her as opposed to you going into this fight?
It was. I always knew it was going to be a tough situation. You know, when we found out about the fight, I already knew it was her retirement fight before she even posted about it, because I had heard some things through my management that she had said that. So I knew it was going to be a tough spot from the start. And everybody loves Roxy. I love Roxy. You know, she's been around forever and she's a pioneer of the sport. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like her. So I knew I just had to sell the fight on my side and make sure that people were also paying attention to me. And then it did actually get really, really annoying when I went into like my 7th interview and it was asked again how I felt about her retirement, because, you know, she hadn't retired yet. She was still fighting me. So I was like, why are we talking about this? Can we talk about this next week? You know, let's focus on the fight and focus on what's going down on Saturday night and not what's coming afterwards.
But surely you can understand, right, why people were focusing, because, you know, legend, OG, you know, pioneer, all that stuff. So if you're moving, like if it wasn't you versus her, you can understand why people were sort of interested in that angle, right?
Of course I understand, but I got to make sure that people are still talking about me.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
That's my job. So the way I went about it, I got people talking about me. That's what I wanted.
Speaking of the media beforehand, of course, you know, we had this arrangement. You wore the shirt. We have physical evidence of you wearing the shirt, but still some debate as to whether or not it was enough. Could you tell us why you didn't wear the shirt to the actual media obligations? We have a picture, I believe, of you wearing the shirt. It seems like it was at the office in the hallway. I'm not sure. Maybe you put it on, took it off right away. Why did we do that and not go, you know, fully with the arrangement?
Well, the last thing that I was told was no slogans, no logos, plain t-shirts only. But clearly, you know, I'm still new, because Derek Brunson was wearing whatever he wanted and a bunch of people wear. So that's my bad. I just took it as I wasn't allowed to wear that shirt. But I give it my best.
Do you think it was? Do you think they heard our discussion and said that to you as a way to get you not to wear it?
Everybody hears your discussions,
Yeah,
Ariel. I'm sure
alright.
they heard about it.
So when you wore it, did anyone say anything?
No, but actually that was right after the interview that I wanted to wear it in. Tim was upstairs with Israel and he had my shirt in his
Come on, Tim. Really?
wear.
So it's
I
his
know.
fault?
He's always with Ariel. He's big time now, you know. I'm just a
No,
little
he's not
guy.
with Ariel. He's with Israel. You mean?
I mean Israel, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a little person that gets left behind on the sidelines, but it's okay. I'll have my day one day.
Now, so do you think that that warrants immortalization on the wall, or do you think that it wasn't quite? What, like if
I don't know. I mean,
if you were me, do you think it was enough?
I heard you guys talking about it, and you said if I won, I was getting put up there, and I won.
Okay.
So I think I held
All right, fair
my
enough.
side of the bargain, and I think that my picture should already be up there.
Okay, fair enough. You know, I just wanted to talk it out with you. You did the pink nails. That was big. I saw you getting a lot of love for that. Wow, a lot of attention. I mean, I think you played, despite the fact that it was Roxy week. I thought you played your cards very well. You played the heel very well. I feel like you are more comfortable being the heel than the. Do you know what that word means? Heel, babyface. Are you familiar with these terms?
Yeah, I am, but I mean, to be honest, I wasn't playing anything. I'm just trying to be myself, and I am a little bit edgy, I guess. And people either love me or hate me, and they're still talking about me regardless of either way. So, not playing it up on either side. I'm just being who I am and saying how I feel, and that makes me the heel. That makes me the heel.
Now, there are some people who say that they are okay with being the heel, but they don't actually mean it. They're actually very sensitive and self-conscious and stuff. And there's others who actually, like Brock Lesnar, he doesn't give an F what anyone thinks, and he'll just be himself. And then there's people like, I don't know, Josh Koscheck used to say he wanted to play the heel, but actually he didn't want, he wanted to be loved. Where do you think you fall? Do you deeply, like inside of you, like you want to be loved, or do you truly not give an F about what people say about you or think about you?
I don't know. I think that I'm polarizing on both sides. I've got a lot of people who do love me for what I say and how I am, and a lot of people who hate me for what I say and who I am. And I think that I'm just trying not to care at all what people think either way.
That's good. I appreciate
But of course, I will be honest, it doesn't feel great to, get booed or anything like that. When you go out there and you give your heart and you put everything on the line. I feel like I did give everything in myself in that fight. And, I was raw and emotional, and getting booed kind of sucks, but, I quickly turned around.
It was tremendous. Oh, it was an amazing promo. Did you think of Ally Quinta in that moment?
I didn't, but afterwards when you guys were all tagging him, that was fun because I love Ally.
Do you remember that moment that he had after the Masvidal fight? It was almost like the exact same thing.
Yeah. Well, that's how you feel after it. Fucking sucks when they start booing you after, you went out there and you entertained them and they just want to boo you for no reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Why do you think they were booing? Do you think they were booing because of the scorecard? Because they wanted her to win? Like, what was there to boo in that moment? That's the part I don't really understand.
I honestly think they were booing the scorecards and I just took it and ran with it. But
Wait, you think they were actually on your side?
I think so. But,
That would be weird. And then you told them to F off? Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. It was great though. I think you should continue to play that up. By the way, when you posted the picture of your nails, there's a tattoo on your wrist that says me on it, which is again
myself.
Or myself. Does it say myself? No, it says it says myself. My apologies. There it is.
Myself.
Yep. Now that's a very heel tattoo, if I'm being honest. I mean, few people would have myself in a heart like that. You would have, why do you have that tattoo? What does it signify?
I actually got it like quite a few years ago when I was going through a little bit of a dark time after I lost those 2 fights and was sort of trying to find myself and fall back in love with, who I am and what I do and everything. So it was a self-love thing, but yeah, it does play into the heel side of things now. It has a couple of meanings now.
Okay, so you were just trying to say like you need to love yourself. Before you can love anyone or anything, you have to love yourself first.
Exactly, yeah.
Were you feeling this way because of your career, because of what was happening in your fight career?
There's a lot of things that happened, like I stopped hanging out with the people that I was hanging out with because I felt like they were not really the people that were going to help me get to where I was at. I changed gyms, I moved countries, a lot of changes in my life, and I just like had to make sure that I had my own back and I was secure in myself and being alone, and that was one of the steps that I took to doing that.
Very nice moment after the fight between you and Roxy. I mean, you got down on your knees and bowed down to her, which meant a lot. I don't know if you heard what she said on the show on Monday, but it seemed like that moment meant a lot. And it seems like she holds no ill will. She actually said she likes you. So I don't know if you heard her comments, but how do you feel about her now? Several days later, you shared the cage with her, 15 minutes, great fight. How do you feel about Roxy?
Like I said, I've always loved Roxy, but in my mind and who I am as a person, when I'm fighting someone, I can't be their friend, like I don't want to be doing all that buddy stuff. And it's so hard because she came up to me during the week and was like, I can't wait to fight you, and was so nice. And I was like, stop it.
Yeah.
Get in my head. And then she was trying to like shake my hand before the fight. But if you watch back all my fights, I never touch gloves at the start of the fight. It's just something that I've never done. I saved being friends until afterwards, and I'm so respect for Roxy, and that was a great fight, and I like her, and we've spoken since the fight, and plan to train together hopefully soon here in Vegas. Cool. So yeah, I wish her all the best, as I said, and
That's great. That's nice that you guys obviously live in the same city. Yeah, a lot of people were mad about that, the touching of the glove.
Nobody knows what it's like to get in there and
Sure.
do what we do. So everyone approaches it differently, and some people want to do that, be super friendly, and other people don't. I don't want to be your friend if I'm gonna punch you in the face because I start feeling differently about it. So I'll be your friend afterwards, and I'll be your friend before. But when it comes down to it, at the time, I don't want to be your friend.
I didn't think it was such a big deal. I mean, why do you have to touch gloves beforehand? What's the big deal?
It's not like I ran in and attacked her on the glove
You didn't do the fake. The fake is a bit much, right? When someone fakes it and then punches, that's a little dirty. But like you were very clear that you didn't want. Do you think she does that on? Do you think that's actually like a game plan of hers to be super nice before a fight to, take someone's, guard down, and you just said like, oh, I don't want to get. Like, do you think that she actually does that on purpose, or is that just who she is?
I think that's just who she is, You've never heard anybody say a bad word about Roxy, so I think that she's just like a super sweet girl who, does this for fun and doesn't really like do it with any ill will in her heart. She's just nice all the time, and I just think that she doesn't have the same mindset as me, she doesn't care if she's your friend before she goes in and does it as a sport, and I don't want to be friends because I want to finish you.
After I saw on your Instagram, you're cool with Roxy, but it seems like Veronica Macedo is not a person that you're very fond of right now. Why is that?
So she has a podcast that she does with her boyfriend, and she sort of got on there before the fight and was like spreading just absolute lies about me, saying I used to train the syndicate and fell out with John Wood because he married Joanne, and just all this crazy stuff. I've never been to syndicate in my life, so I was like, someone sent it to me, and I was thinking, where did all of this even come from? Like, I don't know her, I don't know any of like these people, none of this has ever happened, so just felt it was really weird, and I managed to keep track of what was going to be said after the fight, and listened after the fight when she was like telling everybody she wasn't impressed with my performance and I was overhyped and all this stuff. But yeah, I think it's just a little bit of jealousy, and that's a really ugly emotion in my opinion. If you went 1-3 in the UFC, you can't be sitting there talking about my performance. Her claim to fame in the UFC was being pretty, so maybe that's why she's upset, because I'm a better fighter than her.
And you tagged her in your post. Did she respond to you?
No, of course not.
Did she see it?
Haters like to say things, and then when you call them out on their bullshit, they don't reply to you. So I don't know if she saw it, but I hope she did, and maybe she'll think twice about just spreading lies about people, on platforms when it can't be taken back.
I think she's injured. I don't know if she's still fighting, but is this a fight that you want or not?
I'm pretty sure she got cut from the UFC a long time ago. So, if she wants to come to Extreme Couture, we could spar.
Okay, all right. When would you like to return?
I'm hoping to return in probably September, October time.
Oh, wow. Why so long?
Yes. I want to have some time, you know. Without getting too far into it, that before this fight was sort of dealing with a little bit of emotional issues. I think a little bit of emotional fatigue. It's a lot of pressure to fight 4 times in 12 months in the biggest organization in the world. Like, regardless of if you're doing well or you're doing bad or whatever your emotional state is, it's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. It's a lot of time to spend with pressure on you in the gym, focusing on fights instead of focusing on having fun. And I felt like I sort of lost myself a little bit in this camp, and just want to take some time to build back my happiness, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to get burnt out on the sport so young in your career.
Honestly, this fight, it was a little bit of that emotional burnout, and spent a lot of the camp crying for no reason and everything. And that's not me, you know. I'm a very happy person. You talk to anybody, very happy, and this camp just sort of got away from me. And I don't even think it was to do with the fight camp. I think it was just to do with being completely burnt out.
Has that ever happened to you before?
I felt it once before, and not to this extent, but I took quite a little bit of time off there as well and managed to sort of get myself back. But you just, you know, you become just a fighter at that point when you're just doing this over and over again, fight camp to fight camp, and, you know, having to deal with all the hate and deal with all the love, regardless of what emotions it is. It's a lot to deal with, and I lost myself outside of fighting for a little bit, and I just want to make sure that, you know, I still have fun in my life, and there's more to life than just fighting. So taking a little bit of time between fights from now on is going to be my goal.
I respect it. Do you think you'll take time away from the gym as well, like a total break?
I'm already back at the gym training, so it's not like away from the gym. I think just away from the pressure of being in a fight camp, and train for fun. You know, I love jiu-jitsu. I love striking. That's why I started fighting, because I love doing it, you know, as a fan of martial arts, not just because I wanted to be a fighter in the UFC. So getting back to just having fun and learning new stuff, and, you know, enjoying my time in the gym, which I haven't done for a year and a half now.
It's mentally exhausting, right? I don't think we truly understand the pressure that you guys feel. Like, it's all building up to one moment, 15 minutes, one night, all these fans, all these people, all this media, all the social media stuff, which I'm sure, I mean, that in itself can be a lot if you let it get to you. And then you just did it 4 times in the span of a year. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with, and any fighter will tell you that for sure. No matter where you're at, like, I try and stay really level-headed and be honest with myself, and, you know, not get too high or not get too low. But going camp to camp to camp, and physically fatiguing yourself, mentally fatigues you as well, and you start caring a little bit more about things that you don't usually care about, and, you know, it all starts to get to you, and then it just builds up, and you start acting a little bit crazy, which I feel like I was doing in this camp. Apologize to my coaches for that, but you know, I recognize it, which is one good thing about myself. I've always been able to recognize in myself when I need some time, and I'm going to take some time this time for sure.
I know that you were mentioning Tim, and he's there with Izzy, and so I know you're not part of the same team, but, like, to be a part of a show, excuse me, where you have a star like that on the show, I mean, one of the biggest names in the sport, you kind of get to see, I would imagine, a little bit of what that entails.